This is pod racing. It's working! Are you an angel? What?
This is where the fun begins.
I've been looking forward to this.
What?
The attempt on my life has left me scarred and deformed.
And you're sounding like a separatist.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
I'm not the Jedi I should be. I want more. And I know I shouldn't.
Don't make me kill you. Don't try it. You liar!
I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
Ah, Mando! They all hate you, Mando. Mando, only you, Mando. Welcome back, Mando. Mando. Sorry for the remote rendezvous, Mando. What about you, Mando?
What's up, guys? How's it going? Figured I'd go a little crazy on the clips today, but welcome back to the third episode of Stupendous Theory. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Just, living life, fighting hurricanes.
Yeah, dude, you're in the thick of it.
Yeah, well, I got lucky. I know a lot of people are going through a whole lot worse stuff than I am right now. I'm like the Orlando area. So
Yeah.
It's just the
I
threat
freeze?
of the hurricane is the worst part. Oh, I don't
I'm
know.
freezing this whole time.
You look good
aren't
to
I?
me.
Chad, am I freezing? Oh no. Thought I fixed it. Longtime fan of you both. So happy you have witnessed all of this come to life. Thank you, Theory, Stupendous. So glad to join you. Well, so glad you're here.
Thanks, Dax.
We're going to be talking about something that a lot of you guys have been tweeting and messaging to. Did someone say I'm freezing? No, like the camera froze. No? Nothing? Okay. All right. Well, that's good. I guess it was just on my end. Sweet. Yeah. So yesterday, something was announced. Should we get into it right away, or should we prolong it a little bit? Hey, Theory, I love your videos.
Let's go for the throat.
I listen to them every day at work while I clean pools. Oh, awesome. It really helps me through the day. Keep up the hard work. We love you and Stupendous. Quick question. Who do you think wins, Vader or Voldemort?
Dude, Vader kills
Vader.
20 Voldemorts.
Yeah, dude. The meme, Voldemort couldn't even take over a school, a high school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With Daniel Radcliffe and Adam Driver walking down the street.
Yeah. Dude, Vader would just like force crush Voldemort or like break his wand, and it'd be a game over. It'd be
I have fights with my friends over Vader versus Thanos, because in my mind, if Thanos doesn't have the stones, I pick Vader.
Yeah.
I think people sleep on him, man. They sleep on Vader. I hate
Well, they just don't understand. They're like, no way, he sucks. It's like, you guys don't understand. He's literally like the Hulk. Like,
no,
he
he
is
is
more angry.
Yeah, exactly. You can't keep him down.
As for lore content, which is going to help you out, Byron, with your job cleaning pools and chilling, found a couple writers. So, see, did it freeze? Am I frozen?
I think it's a little laggy, but nothing crazy.
Really? What the freak? Okay, anyways. So you guys are getting lore content. Found really, really good, passionate Star Wars lore freaking masters, essentially. And been kind of screening them all week and making sure that they are exactly what I want on the channel. And their scripts have been pretty much more or less how I would write certain things, and while I record stuff, I like switch it up here and there, but this allows me to get back to the content that I was doing, that there's like over 3,000 videos of on the channel. So you guys will be getting a lot of like the reaction stuff that I've been doing lately, and like commentary, plus 1 to 2 lore videos every single day to round out the content here for you. So if you like that, make sure you spam 1, leave a like on the channel, on the video, and let's get to the topic of the day, which is, we have a few. So a lot of you have noticed that there is a trans clone that Disney has created, and let me bring the image up here. So this is the trans clone that was apparently it's going absolutely viral. It was what 2 days yesterday. Freaking yesterday, dude. 3.4 million views already. They have a lot to say about it. On all different fronts.
Mixed.
Let's go ahead and read it. The Secrets of the Clone Troopers includes a first look at Sisters, a trans woman clone trooper. Rex's description of Sister in the book reads, when one of our kind expressed her gender identity differently than her fellow troopers, she featured she'd have to hide who she truly was inside. Fortunately, her brothers in the 7th Sky Corps gave her the name Sister as a constant reminder that she belonged. All right, so a lot of you guys want to know, like, are we going to be saying stuff about this? So my thoughts right off the bat are personally, and this is going to be surprising to a lot of people because I know you're all expecting me to say something about it. I really don't give a shit. I honestly don't care. I don't care. I've said this a billion times. If they're trans, if they're gay, black, white, whatever, dude, alien, I don't care. If it's a good character, it's a good character. However, I do question what the importance and relevance is of highlighting someone's sexual identity or sexual preference in Star Wars when it doesn't have any place. I don't, for example, care that Anakin is straight. I mean, for all I know, maybe he's just a closet homosexual and he's just trying to fit in and he's, into Padme. I don't know. I really don't know, and I don't give a shit. It does not change Anakin or his character or his story for me, and it's really all I have to say about it. So I don't care what they are, what their preference or sexual whatever, what it is not my business. That being said, I question why it's being interjected into Star Wars. I don't know what the purpose is. I don't see it. I don't understand it. I think all those things are in our world, and Star Wars should just focus on the characters and their story and less so about their sexual identity or their preference, as it's really no one's business, nor does it help a character's character development or the story or anything like that. I mean, Darth Vader could take it up the butt by freaking robots. I mean, I don't. He's still the coolest character of all time. I don't give a shit. So that's my word on it. Stupendous. What's your thought?
I'm kind of with you. I don't see any problem, having alien characters, trans characters, gay characters. There's nothing wrong with that. What we want is good quality characters. But what I am going to say is I feel like this comes off really inauthentic on behalf of Lucasfilm, if I'm being completely honest. It feels like, I don't know, to have a character defined solely just by their, sexual orientation or their gender just seems so shoehorned. I don't want to use the word gimmick because I don't think that that's the perfect word for it. There's a better word out there, but it does feel insincere. And we were talking about it off recording a little bit, but I also thought the gay kiss at the end of The Rise of Skywalker felt really insincere. They really pushed it to the background. They pushed it to the right of the frame. Yeah. And it's sort of, I look at this as Lucasfilm and Disney trying to, give a message, but also fearful of the committing too far to either side. And it just comes off so disingenuous to me.
Well, if they really want to commit to it, they'll put it in a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Not in some book that nobody knows about. The secrets of books, I think, were phenomenal. Like the Secrets of the Jedi, Secrets of the Sith, Secrets of the Bounty Hunters. I have all of them. This new one is the Secrets of the Clone Troopers. I didn't even know they were making it. I had no idea. So, I mean, I'll be picking it up and checking it out, because I want to know what they're writing about Rex and Cody and everybody in there. But as for throwing this, yeah, it does feel like it's shoehorned. It does feel like they're just trying to, what's the word? Play to the agenda. It doesn't matter, I don't think, to anybody. Like Rex could be gay. I don't know. I don't care. What is this constant obsession with sex? I really don't understand it. I would argue, do you guys care if I'm gay? Like, no one gives a shit. Just make good content.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter. So I mean, at the same time, it also makes me question, like, why is this even happening? Like, why is this a thing? Why is this in there? No one cares. No one's going to bat an eye if a character is trans or gay or whatever, but they will bat an eye if it's a shit written character, like the ones in the Acolyte, or like Rey being a Mary Sue or whatever. So that's what people care about. That's what Star Wars fans care about. This just seems like it's forced. No pun intended.
I know a lot of people have been saying that this is lore breaking. I don't think I'd go that far, but I do think it comes off a little tone deaf picking the trooper for this role, like a clone trooper, because the whole purpose of the clone troopers is that they're clones. You know, they're
Genetically modified beings.
Correct, for the purpose of warfare and to be elite, perfect soldiers. You know, sexuality is not really a major part of the clone trooper story, their development, their history. So it just feels like a little bit of a strange choice. I'm not against it. You know, like if Sister turns out to be the coolest character in the next movie, I will totally have no problem with that. I just think that it establishes a little bit of a misunderstanding of what the clones were meant to do. Wasn't it in season 1 of the Clone Wars when he found the deserter, and the fact that they had broken from their programming by just a little bit to have a family really bugged him for the first part of the episode. And I always thought that was super intriguing because that's Rex breaking from his programming.
Yeah. And like, you know, as you said before, they're asexual, man. Their programming is that they don't give a crap about anything to do with sexuality or anything.
They're warriors.
They're warriors. They're made to kill. They're made to obey. And I guess there are some that, with the Clone Wars, to make the show interesting, they have given them more and more of an identity, and they've started to kind of take their own sort of personality. So I can see where they're going with this. However, I just don't find the point. I don't see why they would do this. It's like, what for? These are clones. At least do it with another character. You know, if you want to do it with another character, that's fine. I think you do it with clones. Like, these are literally genetically engineered beings that like are asexual, made to be asexual. So I don't know. Whatever, man.
Yeah, I mean,
it's no surprise that Disney would do something like this, but I don't think George would do anything like that. And is it the end of the world? No, they put it in some book, and they're just trying to please one side of the fandom, I suppose, who really loves to shove identity politics into everything storytelling, which I think is ridiculous. I think let's just focus on a story and tell a good freaking story and not play to check boxes on a list, rather character development. You know,
totally.
Interesting stories, world building. I think that's probably what we should be focusing on. But it is what it is. Let's see what chat
should aim for.
Yeah, literally. Like, so as for like canon wise, I guess we can talk about that because you talked about kind of like the social part of it, aspect of it. Canon wise, yeah, like we said, these are freaking asexual, genetically modified beings. Like, why? I don't know.
I think a character like that would have been portrayed better maybe in the Bad Batch, because part of the whole Bad Batch is about breaking from programming and discovering self-identity, right? Like, that's a major plot of the Bad Batch series. And I think that maybe if Sister was introduced as a layered, complex character, and that was sort of an aspect of development over the Bad Batch series, it would have been a little bit better. But it comes off really shoehorned, like you put it, because it's just in a book where she's going to have 1 to 2 paragraphs about it. Like, it's disappointing.
Yeah, so they're just trying to
it's
appease.
Cheap.
Yeah, like what you said, how, you know, I feel like they use people, to be honest. I feel, you know, like what they did with John Boyega. Like, they put him in the poster in North America, but then in the Chinese poster, they like shrink him down with gosh, what's his name? Rest in peace. He passed away. Chadwick Boseman? They had his face revealed in the poster for North America and then covered it up with a mask for Black Panther in China.
Are
And
you
it's like,
serious? Did they really do that?
yeah, I believe so. Let me double check just so I'm not talking out of my ass here.
I know that they cut out the gay kiss at the end of Rise of Skywalker for China, and
Yeah, here you go.
I'm sure that it was in the background so it could be more easily cut out.
There you go, bro.
That's bullshit, man. That is bullshit. You can't pick a side, and it's not even like this situation is is particularly hard to pick the right side. It's so
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah. Yeah, look, here it is. Here's a freaking
Oh yeah, they covered up Boyega too. That's what you were talking
Dude,
about.
he's like, oh shit. Sorry. He's like front and center. And then
Uh-huh.
here he's just
Dude, I
zipped
didn't
down.
even see him.
I didn't even see him. Yeah, the dude, BB-8's bigger than John Boyega.
Oh my
Crazy.
gosh.
It's
I
crazy.
feel so bad for John Boyega. I thought that he did a pretty good job as Finn.
Did a
And
great
just
job.
to have the story of the first, I'm a Force Awakens apologist to some extent.
Mhm.
I really like his story where he decides not to run at the end, but then it's just all that is backtracked with The Last Jedi. It's the character
Oh
is
yeah.
set so far back from
Oh
even
yeah.
where he began.
Yeah, I know. And it's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. So, Disney just likes to they like numbers, man. That's all they do.
Yeah. I mean, that's why The Acolyte's not going to get a second season, is because it's purely a numbers game.
It's a numbers game. Yeah. And once
We could
people start to understand that they are not for any side, they are just trying to appease everyone because they're trying to make money.
Mhm.
Like it's not about like, oh, we believe in this. It's no, they have a checklist. Dude, they have a fucking checklist. They don't
They have a
doesn't matter to them.
whiteboard.
Yeah, literally, yeah, like the freaking whiteboard. It's they should be focusing on what George made this to be, which is just about a good story. You can make every character trans, for all I care. Go ahead.
I think
I
what
would
they're
question
doing.
why,
Yeah,
but
you would
like,
question
but
why.
if and like I've mentioned before, I'll make a fan film that's going to have a kick-ass story, and the main character is going to be trans. But
Mhm.
I don't know, man. It's we're living in a time where everyone should feel accepted 100%, absolutely. But you're interjecting that now into a story that's outside of this world and the things that go on in it. And I feel like when you start to really bring in stuff that physical attributes of this world, or um how should I phrase this? Sexual preferences, I suppose, and identities of this world, you're kind of closing that larger galaxy because it's supposed to be like, okay, I'm somewhere else now. We don't have the same sort of, like, for example, bricks and screws. That got freaking blown up into oblivion, but I still stand by my point is that there is no Star Wars movie that has bricks and screws as prominent as the Andor, where it literally looks like you walked outside of a construction site and you got bricks and freaking screws out there like that. The screws, I haven't seen a screw that's like a Phillips head screw in Star Wars at all. The Ray side came on the channel a long time ago, and she explained perfectly how you could have different screws, one that looks like a Phillips screw head, and then the other one that looks like a more, otherworldly alien type of thing. So I think that when you start to really like mix too much of this planet's norms, then you really just kind of dilute the fact that you're really escaping to another galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, you lose a little bit of the whimsy, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say like there are so many fans that argue when there are too many humans in a Star Wars production. They're like, where
That
are the
bugs
aliens?
me. That bugs
Yeah,
me
yeah,
personally.
yeah,
Andor, watching the first two episodes of Andor and seeing like a few aliens in the background was so, I don't know,
yeah.
perplexing. I would really like a Star Wars story with a alien lead. I really would.
That'd be cool.
But
But
going back to Sister, I think that this is really indicative of how Star Wars has crafted their characters in this Disney era.
hmm.
And that is that they have a checklist that they abide by first before they go into even motivation or, you know, the thing that's going to drive the story forward. With Luke, for example, is Luke wants adventure. He doesn't have a checklist where it's like, you know, Luke is homosexual, Luke is blah blah blah. You know, there's a point to the character. And when you're making characters on a, you know, with a checklist, you're making a D&D character, you're not making a Star Wars character.
Right.
And I love it, D&D, by the way. I'm just saying,
yeah,
you know, in terms of like using the checklist and that's where you start, I think that that's a terrible way to start the concept of a character.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I would argue that we should maybe go back to what this is all about and just like tell a story instead of focusing too much on identity politics. But at the end of the day, you know, I also understand that everyone feels the need to be included and have inclusion and feel welcomed, and I'm all for that. However, I also say, you know, to that, like, do I need a bald Jedi? Do I need a, you know, Iranian Jedi? Do I need a Jedi with tattoos? Do I need, gosh, I don't know what else. Like, I don't need a Jedi that looks just like me or a character that looks just like me. I can identify with Ahsoka, and she's a female alien. I can identify with Darth Vader. He's a freaking cyborg machine. You don't even see his face for the whole movie.
Yeah.
You know,
That's you're growing
Transformers.
attached to a heart of a character, not their design.
The soul, at the end of the day, if we truly are all just souls and some people identify as something else, then shouldn't we just focus on the soul of the character that we're watching and try to connect with that versus the corporeal form, which is going to fade away in time anyways, but it's the soul that lasts forever. So
That's
I
what
would say,
Yoda
hey,
said
look,
to Luke.
yeah, look, I just, I don't know, man. I just think, you know, like I said, like I connected with freaking Transformers machines as a kid. You know, the show you could, you know, like Toy Story, Wall-E, all these Pixar movies that aren't necessarily humans. It's you don't necessarily have to have something that that looks just like you or is like you for you to feel accepted and okay. Um, God knows I didn't have that a ton when I was a kid, and I never really felt accepted, just for so many different reasons. But you can find characters that you relate to, and I think that's what we need to focus on. We need to focus more on the character development and the characters in general versus their exterior.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a kid, I was never, you know, I was never attached to a character per se for how they looked exclusively. You know, like
Yeah,
you just said, that was never a thought that crossed my mind.
yeah,
But again, I can only speak from my experience. Like, I
yeah,
love the Black Panther character. There's tons of stuff with people of color and different genders that I enjoy thoroughly. And in the
yeah.
gender and races, unless it's being pushed in the forefront of like the marketing of the film,
Right.
or for this, for example, it would not even cross my mind. It really
Yeah,
wouldn't.
yeah. Kevin says, donated my last few dollars. See you on the other side. Oh, thanks, man. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. We'll be reading all your super chats, of course. We're just still stuck on the conversation. But yeah, what do you guys think? Should we do a little poll? What kind of poll should we do? Let's see what chat says. What should we ask them?
How do you word that?
Um, I don't know.
Because you can word it aggressively, or
I
I'm
don't really
trying
give
to
a shit.
think. Yeah,
Do you like this? Yes, no.
that's the perfect way to put it. Sweet and simple. Are you a fan of this?
Yeah. Let's see what most people say. Anyways.
I saw
Is
on
fat
Twitter.
Mace fat? Yes.
Yeah, yes. I saw on Twitter a lot of people were upset with like the heavier Jedi and the acolyte.
Oh
Did
yeah.
you notice
Yeah, yeah.
that?
I didn't see on Twitter they're pissed, but I just saw in my chat when I was doing the watch parties. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh.
I was just reading the chat. Sorry, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting used to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a balance of, the discussion with you and then the chat and like trying to keep them both.
Well,
But
sometimes
yeah,
I
this
find
is
I go in circles because I'll say something and then I'll read the chat and then I'll be focused on that and then I just kind of repeat what I said and I'm like, shit, I just repeated what I said. But that's just kind of like when you're streaming, you kind of just go to like watch both and
Yeah.
continue with one. You're. It'd be nice if I could just like drown everything
Well-
out and just focus on you, but that's
It's impossible.
not really how it works.
Also, like I'm enjoying seeing all the reactions of what people are saying. I think that that's so cool.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, A Southard says, as a trans person, I dislike this. I'd love to know why.
Yeah, I would love to know why as well. I think that when you relegate people to like a single thing about them, and even for the people that they're trying to identify with, they come off as really cheap, and that's a big issue. Like a lot of these people are like, why are you only looking at me for my sexuality or my skin color? Why are you not looking at me for the contents of my character? And if you're looking at it from a storytelling perspective, why are you not looking at it from the contents of this character's story and her struggles in other aspects beyond her sexuality and beyond her appearance? Because I mean, we all exist. The soul exists within the brain, and all of our brains look similar, guys. Sorry, I hate to break it to you, but they all look similar. All the stuff on the outside looks different, but our brains close. So let's try to connect that way and not, in other ways.
Yeah, no, and the way I see things is and maybe just I'm a little advanced in the way I see this stuff because I know not a lot of people do, but we're just like kind of thrust into the body that we get. Like,
Yeah.
the soul, I don't know, you just like, all right, this one fits, let's go in there, and you could be black, white, whatever. I don't know, whatever you want, or I guess whatever fate decides. That's just kind of how I always saw it. It's like when two people make a baby, mother and father, and the baby's created, and a soul from wherever is just kind of just goes into that one. All right, send it there, send this one there. You get it, you get a soul, you get it. It's kind of just the way it is with like almost I would say every sentient creature. So at the end of the day, it's kind of just your upbringing that changes you. Otherwise, yeah, we're all just if we were all to go, we would just be like floating orbs essentially. Like, you know what I mean? Not precisely,
A
but
consciousness.
yeah, we would just be a consciousness, a soul.
That's the way I prefer to think of it. We're all in our hearts just consciousnesses, but
Yeah.
All right, man, I have something cool that I want to share with you if you're
Let's get
okay
to it.
moving on from this.
I am okay to move on. Chat, you good to move on? All right.
All right, sick. So in our last stream, we were talking about the whole. Someone asked the great question of Vader, Dooku, and Maul versus Palpatine, and we sort of got into the discussion of Dooku compared to Yoda in terms of like where they match.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting, and I wanted to dig a little bit deeper. And I had some help with my friend the Archivist, who writes for the channel.
Yeah.
But he went through the DVD commentary for Attack of the Clones, and he found this quote from George Lucas right before Yoda and Dooku fight. He said, "You can't just go right into the sword fight. I decided I had to go back to the Empire Strikes Back of throwing things at one another. Even though I knew that they were equal to each other, it was a hopeless gesture that they would have figured out in 2 seconds. But for the audience, it's nice for them to go through this process of throwing everything around." So according to George, I guess there's a few ways you can argue that statement. You can argue it like they're equal in terms of the scene and they're equal in terms of how the confrontation is set up. Or you can look at it as George Lucas said they're equal in power.
That's crazy.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
Where's this from?
That's from the Attack of the Clones commentary.
Oh, wow. The DVD.
Mm-hmm. So I decided to do some digging because if you take that as Dooku and Yoda being equals back then, I was like, okay, at
Yeah.
which point in the lore did one grow past the other?
Right.
And I think maybe for a period of time in 21 BBY in Legends, Dooku would have been 81. It said that he found an old holocron known as the Dark Holocron, and that specifically bolstered his power. And it was also said that Sidious permitted him to train, or not to train, but to look into the teachings of Darth Bane. So I thought that was interesting. So if you really want to twist it, maybe Dooku was stronger than Yoda for a flash during the Clone Wars.
I don't know. I just still don't believe it. It's
Yeah,
so
it's
hard
tough,
to believe.
right?
Yeah, because it's like, I don't know. I feel like George just sometimes says stuff to just say it, you know?
Yeah, but that's why it's interesting to talk about. It's like
It is, yeah.
where does he really stand on this? And I think my answer to that question is Yoda's stronger than Dooku, but I think Dooku is like, if Yoda's a 10, I think Dooku's like a 9, like a 9.5.
I'd say Dooku's a 9. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You put Yoda 10?
I don't think anyone is a 10 except for full potential Anakin.
Oh, I see. I like how you do the
So
metrics
yeah,
there.
I would say Yoda would be like a 9 point, I don't know, 2.
Yeah. And you put
I
Palpatine like a 9.5.
Yeah, I think from what Nick Gillard told me, no one ever got to 10,
Interesting.
unless I'm mistaken. I think Palpatine got higher than Yoda by the time of Return of the Jedi, or something like that.
Yeah,
Is
that
that
makes sense.
because I know George was also talking about power levels in the making of books.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of cool. So he said that Anakin skipped 8 and went to 9 when he
Right.
turned to the dark side. But that's why he didn't have time to practice to like properly get to 8 and then to 9. He just went from 7 to 9.
Right. I think that like if you're picking in your head what a 10 illustrates, if you're getting into Legends, that scale
That's
really breaks.
Palpatine, I think. Yeah, that has to be Palpatine. That's crazy.
I went back and I read the Dark Empire series. If that's like after it's like after the events of Palpatine's second physical death. And I didn't realize, but in that comic book, Palpatine's last clone body is actually shot in the back by Han Solo. And that's how he like dies in Legends continuity officially.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? That's such
Yeah.
I really like that decision, truthfully. Because
Yeah.
even the book illustrates like Palpatine is so pissed off that a being that can't use the Force just killed him. And he even calls him like a simple Corellian smuggler. I think that ending, if I can't get Anakin taking out Palpatine, which is of course what I want, like that's like the gold standard. But if
Yeah.
I'm hitting for silver, I'm okay with the Han Solo one.
That's funny. That's wild.
Yeah, he was trying to possess Anakin Solo.
I know. And he was like this little
yeah.
He's like, ah!
That one panel is hilarious where like C-3PO is holding the baby and Palpatine's like trying to grab him.
Literally just turning into this like freaking beam.
Yeah, he is. Oh, I'm not a gigantic fan of Dark Empire, I'll be honest.
No, we're making it right now with a lot of 3D effects and stuff, and like kind of like a stop motion comic, and it looks really cool, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's like a what would it be? It would be like a what if from the 80s.
Yeah,
the way-
Elseworld.
Yeah, it's like the Twilight Zone kind of thing. It's just which I've actually never seen, but from what I hear, it's kind of like that.
It's so interesting that in Legends and canon, they were both led to bringing Palpatine back.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, when you build someone up that much, it's tough to follow it up.
Mariana Barbara with $10 she sent to both of us. She says, "Hey, Theory and Stupendous Wave. Did you guys see the recent Star Wars fandom blow up over a transgender clone trooper? Also, what is your take on Jodie Turner Smith's recent comments on toxic fandom?" Yeah, we just talked about the transgender clone trooper. And look, I mean, to add on that again, like, I don't think that doing that to a clone is the best choice. I think doing that to dude, what species was Zam Wessel? She was a changeling. So she could freaking change to whatever she wanted. or he, you don't even know.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that
Um,
character. You're right.
yeah, so that was kind of like the first real canon, like you could just change your gender, but literally like physically change everything.
Mhm.
What it change? I guess maybe that was the species, a changeling.
Changeling. That freaked me out as a kid, man. That scene
Because
freaked
Anakin
me
was like,
out.
Anakin, yeah, because he was like, I think he's a she, and I think she's a changeling.
Oh, yeah. Right before Obi-Wan
Um,
cuts off the bar patron's arm like he does. Or is it
shape
Anakin that does that?
changeling or shapeshifter were terms used for the few species that could assume different forms. So it wasn't even necessarily about sex. It wasn't even about changing sexual orientation. It was just about changing your form. So it might have even just been like always a female. So I
Hmm.
don't really know. Thanks to those abilities, changelings made most almost undetectable imposters, which posed security risks. Notably, the claw-tied bounty hunter Cato Parasiti helped Cad Bane infiltrate the Jedi Temple on Coruscant by impersonating deceased Jedi Master Ord Innocence and then Chief Librarian Jocasta Nu. During the reign of Emperor Palpatine, the Imperial intelligence of his galactic empire kept a careful eye on shapeshifters with underworld ties. Transforming through the Force was possible. The Force wielders had this ability, with the son being able to transform into a large winged gargoyle, while the daughter could become a griffin. So, yeah,
Wow.
changelings could indeed change their form, but it's not. I'm not sure if they change their genders, but I would imagine so. It's kind of like Mystique from X-Men,
Yeah. No,
I
that's a
guess.
really good comparison. I didn't
Yeah.
even think that, like, yeah, the ones of Mortis are changelings. Do we know what the father turns into? Or if he can turn into anything at all?
I don't think he turned into anything.
Huh. So we have the griffin, the daughter's the griffin, then you have like the gargoyle who's the son.
Yeah,
I would bet that the father can change into something.
for
I just
sure.
bet he didn't.
I mean, you got the mother is Abeloth, but that was kind of like a freak accident.
Yeah.
Uh,
I love Abeloth.
just so freaky.
Yeah, she's freaky. I wish that her story wasn't like 9 books. Like,
But
holy
Mystique's
crap.
base identity is Raven Darkholme, a woman. Well, yeah, I don't know, man. Look, I'm all for people feeling inclusive. I just don't see the point of shoehorning stuff like that in. It's like, where do we stop? Like we need a character of every single human country, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just like what you said. I like when Star Wars feels more like a different galaxy because it is a
Yeah.
different galaxy.
Like Out
And
of
you
This
try
World doesn't have the same politics, doesn't have the same sort of um, look and feel. And you know, back to bricks and screws once again. I learned a lot of my stuff um, from Paul Bateman, and Paul Bateman is the artist that took care of directly of Ralph McQuarrie's designs and work, and he knew him, and he took care of Ralph in old age. And he told me a lot about what what his whole thought process was when it came to painting those still images for Star Wars sets and creating the world of Star Wars. And he said that everything has to be different from this world. Everything. It cannot be the same. You cannot have even a piece of clothing that is reminiscent of something that you would find at the mall. And that
so
was
the
something that he
DNA
was,
of Star Wars was,
yes,
the intention was to make it different.
unbelievably adamant about every single piece of architecture and everything had to feel different and out of this world. And so, yeah, when I made that comment, I was like literally in the thick of it of Vader
Mhm.
episode 2 and like creating the world and stuff with and having a lot of inspiration from Paul and talking to him. Um, where he was like, look, he's like, this is what Ralph McQuarrie thought, and this is how he created the worlds, and this is how you have to do it too if you want to make this fan film as good as you hope. Nothing can feel like it's from Earth. Nothing. Not a single
S
thing.
so how do you feel about in Skeleton Crew, like, the modern cul-de-sac little neighborhood? Do
I
you
don't know.
feel
I
like
like
th
it.
I like it too. Why do you think it's like that one is a little bit more palatable when like the other one is less so?
Yeah, I think the reason for that is because it's a totally new show and it's about kids and you can't tell me that there aren't children, you know, just like we used to be, somewhere in the Star Wars galaxy. It's a galaxy full of many possibilities, and surely, you know, the idea of a cul-de-sac is nothing profound. It's not like,
Yeah.
so I'm sure like any civilization would probably have something like that. As for using, I don't know, like pavement like the way they had it, yeah, it's a little ET, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't feel like it will encroach on any important characters or even inside the timeline of the Skywalkers or anything like that. So it's just like a fun little side story of something going on in the same galaxy. Cool.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think the way that it differs and why that's a whole lot more easy to accept is because it's an extremely intentional story decision. It's not like let's just build this thing
Yeah.
using, bricks and screws in the way that, we would in our real world. It's like a
Yeah.
point of the story
Yeah.
to show, the normalcy of Star Wars, which
Yeah.
is a really creative idea, in my opinion. I don't know how Skeleton Crew is going to knock that home, but I do like the idea of, a more normal part of the galaxy.
I saw a lot of people were like pissed that I didn't hate on the show right
You
away
didn't
and rip
hate-
on it. Yeah, and I think, people are starting to wake up to the fact that like, hey, maybe I don't actually belong in any sort of box. I just literally like the things that I like and the things that I don't.
Yeah. Didn't you?
Uh,
You were pretty positive about the first few episodes of The Acolyte. I know, weren't you? I mean, I know I was fairly positive.
no.
Okay, you were not. Okay.
No. I was open-minded. I was
Uh-huh.
very open-minded.
That
But
show turns at episode 3 is like,
oh, episode 3 I was yeah, dude, no. No mercy at that point.
I did
John
not
Kreese.
hate the I did not hate the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte. I didn't know what it was yet, though, is
Yeah.
the problem, which
Yeah.
is tough because if these freaking shows are gonna be 20, 30 minutes, I can't figure out what I'm supposed to feel.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why
well,
The Penguin's an hour and 10 minutes, and it's great. Like, every episode. Why is Disney they have the
uh,
most money, the most funds. Why are these episodes so short?
no idea. No idea. I've been really enjoying, Tulsa King.
Oh, what is that?
It's with Sylvester Stallone. I love this.
Oh.
I love that show. I watched the first season when it came out because I'm just a huge Stallone fan, and then the second season is airing now. It's essentially like you got Dwight Manfredi, who's played by Stallone, and Italian mafia in New York, and he was pretty high up in the mafia, and then some shit goes down. He takes the fall for some degenerates that were low level, um, uh, and then he goes to jail for it for like 20 years. And when he gets out, the low level kids he took the fall for are now, like pretty high up and they're kind of running shit. And the Don, who's the father of one of the low level kids who's now, kind of high up, his name's Chicky. He I'm kind of giving it away, guys. So if you want to watch the show, then turn away. Anyway, something happens where they now run shit and they send Stallone out to Tulsa because they're like, get this old guy the fuck out of here. Like he doesn't belong anymore. We run shit now. And so they're chummy with him. They send him out to Tulsa basically to just kind of like get him out of their hair. And Stallone starts to take over out there. He starts to build his own crew, his own mafia, and he starts to have a major presence there. And it's kind of like how he's kind of building ties with now everyone in Tulsa and being the gangster there. And then now there are, he's getting so big in the second season now that there are like other gangsters nearby that are like, you're encroaching on our territory because you're getting too big. And so they're now going to New York mob boss and they're trying to talk to him and he of course hates Stallone and it all gets very interesting and very fun.
Always fear the old man in a profession where young men die young.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. I think
Yeah.
I've seen clips of Stallone like beating the shit out of people from that show, but that is it.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
No, it's great, dude.
Where do you watch it? Like
Prime.
Prime? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Anybody
I
else
just
here seen
freaking
Tulsa?
love the Penguin.
Tulsa King? Yeah, I gotta watch the Penguin. I haven't.
You do have to, man. It hooked me in like the first 10 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Is
I always love those characters that are really underestimated, but are real pros at the game.
is one of the sexiest women of all time on that show?
Who is?
Miss Kravitz?
Oh, I don't know.
Catwoman?
Oh, she is not. No, sir. Oh,
Okay, I'm not watching.
I'm not watching.
I'm
You know
not.
what you do? You do get to see Colin Farrell though. That's not bad,
Bro, I don't want to. I don't give a shit. Do I look gay? I don't care. I want to see my shorty.
Yeah, she's really hot in the Batman, isn't she?
Dude.
She is in like a scene, the only scene in that movie that I don't like though. I think it's so dumb when she goes to the fridge and she like starts drinking milk. It's like, I get it. Okay,
Yeah,
she's
it's like, all right,
Catwoman.
You're
She doesn't have to drink milk.
Yeah,
guys.
super cheesy. Yeah, super cheesy. I know. Yeah. Anyways, but whatever. There was a pretty funny line from Tulsa King and Stallone. See if I can find it. But anyways, we should probably read some soupies because
Yeah.
otherwise it'll be like the other day. We read this.
Oh yeah, where we talked for 5
Was it
hours.
5 hours. Yeah, people were like, "How the hell did you guys talk for 5 hours?" Like, bro, we could talk for more than that.
Oh, easy.
Dragon Zord 979 with a big $50 to the both of us sends. Yo, Stupendous. When you come to Boston, I highly recommend the observation deck at the top of the Prudential building. You can see all of Boston from there, and it's a super cool view. Also, where's my Anakin Solo video? Love you guys.
Thank you so much, man. I'm excited. Also, that username is like one of the most badass usernames I've ever seen. Dragon Zord.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go to Boston. And then, yeah, I will look into making the Anakin Solo video for sure.
Shout out to everybody in Florida. Hope you're all okay, including for Stupendous. I will be in Miami next week for Adobe Max. So if you guys are in Miami at the Miami Beach Convention Center for Adobe Max, I will be on stage, and I'd love to see a lot of you guys there and take some photos and do like a fan meetup as well at the event. But yeah, I'll be there. And if I don't see you there, then I'll be at SpaceCon San Antonio, where Theory Sabers will have their own booth, and we are gearing up for that. The whole team's flying out. Well, not the whole team, but most of the team's flying out, and we'll see you guys there as well.
And you're vlogging both of those, right?
I don't know if I'll vlog as much in Miami because that's more of like I'll do the event and then the rest of it I'm just kind of like vacation, just chilling, and then but yeah, my videographer will be out for Texas, and that'll be like lots of vlogs and lots of fun stuff. So that'll be good. Yeah.
What was the full Mariana Barbara super chat? She said we didn't complete her whole message. If we can find that real quick.
What's your take on Jodie Turner-Smith's recent comments? Oh, I guess that's the one. I don't know who that is.
Neither do I. Let me look it up.
I'm guessing Twitter. Where else do you go for?
Oh, she's the actress who plays Mother Anasea from The Acolyte. I think that's what it is. She's the mom.
Oh, okay.
To be honest, man, everybody is just saying negative things about the fan base, and I've stopped reading the articles on what the Acolyte creators have said. That's where I am.
Oh gosh, there's so much.
There's more. It's when can we move past this?
Dude, I just
Disney washed their hands of it. Why can I not be absolved?
Disney's like,
of it?
we're done. We're done with this crap. We don't even want to.
I think the answer is I don't think that fans are toxic. I don't think that Star Wars fans are racist. I think Star Wars fans want good Star Wars. Obviously, you have outliers in every community, but like,
sure.
How many times do you have to say that before it's like?
Pick one, man. People.com. Jodie Turner-Smith says Disney didn't support her amid fans' racism. Oh no! Here we go again. Gosh.
They want Disney to fight the fans. The actors are calling for
Acolyte's
Disney to fight
Jodie
the fans.
Turner Smith claims Disney didn't have her back online amid online racism and bullshit from toxic fans. I mean, yeah, let me say right here.
What do you
Of
mean
course,
they didn't have her back, though?
we've said a million times that there is no place for racism or bigotry or any of that shit. Turner Smith's comments echo her former co-star Amanda Lest. I'm so tired of reading this. The actress who starred as they've got to stop doing this thing where they don't say anything when people are getting effing dogpiled on the internet with racism and bullshit. She said of Disney's silence. It's just not fair to not say anything. It's really unfair. What is she talking about, man?
She wants
They say
Disney
stuff
to
all
come
the
out.
time.
Yeah, they do. They do. When you have in interview, when you have Leslie Headland making these comments, that is Disney saying them. She is representing Disney Star Wars at those events.
Yeah, like what the fuck does she want? Like Mickey Mouse to like?
Does she want Kathleen Kennedy to get on a live stream and like, ugh?
Oh, we don't support racism. Well, it's like no shit. Who does? It's like, God, these people just. I can't believe how they literally take the smallest sect of like the weirdos in the fandom and just brush everybody with that same color.
Yeah, you can't. That's just irresponsible.
What, like, Turner Smith added, it would be just nice if the people that have all the money, whether that be Disney or any studio, were showing their support and putting their feet down. Say this is what are you
You
crazy?
got $300 million.
What is Disney saying that we support racism? Like, what are you talking about? You're not a fan if you do this. What? The actress bet that Disney wouldn't see any money leave if they made a really big statement speech. Dude, it's not like Disney's like, okay, look, I got my qualms with Disney, but it's not like they're sitting there being like, you know what? There's a lot of racism going on with our show. We're just not going to say anything because we feel like it's going to hurt our pocket. No, dude, they had Ewan McGregor make that video. They had Leslie Headland talk about it. I mean, for God's sakes, I talk about it. So many other Star Wars fans talk about it that make content. It is like literally the most minute, small part of the fandom, the weirdos who like say racist bullshit. It's probably like 12-year-olds or something. We're just
And it's not
demented.
okay. But
No,
like,
it's not okay. But to say that it's everybody and then make it like a huge thing as if like Disney's not like running to bat for you. They literally they paid you how much money? If they really supported racism, they wouldn't have an entirely diverse cast. Everything would be just white guys.
I don't understand what she wants. Like, does she want Disney to come out and say like we're against racism? Like that would be the tweet, and that would calm all of her, nerves. I don't know. Disney is not a company that does that. Disney creates, products and entertainment. They're not like. I just don't understand. I don't understand how these people just still desire the world after all of this.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. But
She wants a second season. Of course she does.
Of course she does. Why wouldn't she? We need to get to a point where criticism is not labeled as anything other than criticism. I mean, unless you're being racist or whatever, then okay. But criticism's criticism. Like you can criticize art, and that's perfectly okay. That's perfectly acceptable. Like, what's going on with KSI's new song that I made a video on for my Theory arcade channel that I'm releasing. It's the same thing. Like you put out art, people have the right to have their take on it. That's totally acceptable. It's like when I make release Vader episode 2 and 3. If so many people are making fun of it and which I'm sure many will because a lot of them just frankly hate me. But if the majority of people are like, this is absolute ass, I have to take it on the chin and be like, you know what? Okay, fair enough. Like I thought it was cool. I guess it sucks. Well, I guess people don't like it. It wasn't well received. That's just how it goes when you produce art. Anything. People can criticize, people can judge, and that's their right.
I mean, we talked about this last week, or you talked about it last week. You're not a lot of the people that would say that they hated your fan film were going to hate it already, but you're making it because you think it would be cool, and there are people out there that want to see what it would be like. And if the creators of Star Wars took a similar approach to that, I think they would find their mental health in a much better state.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know them. I'm going off of 2 comments they said in an article. She wants a job. If I was in Star Wars, I'd want to be in Star Wars again too, but I wouldn't target people that were not responsible for my lot.
No. Yeah, I agree.
And that's where it is. She's yelling at the she can't yell at her bosses. She can't be like, give me another season, give me more money. That's
who
just
do you think you are?
Yeah, exactly. So who is she going to lash out at? The people who we don't have a large representative. We are just like a culmination of Star Wars fans, but we're not responsible for that.
It's like if the guy who is dating a girl lashes out at anyone who like politely hits on their girlfriend, not knowing that they're in a relationship. It's like, dude, tell your girlfriend to not entertain that. Like, why are you lashing out at like what? That's like totally irrelevant. Like, lash out to your freaking boss. Okay? Like, dude, don't freaking what are you doing? The show didn't get approved. Don't be mad. It didn't get approved because it was bad. It has nothing to do with you. Like, you know, you're acting aside. It just wasn't a well-written show, and that's why it didn't get approved. So that's all.
Yeah, numbers.
Numbers. It's easy. This is a funny comment. Patrick Bateman on the trans clone trooper. Impressive. Very nice. Now let's see the Chinese version.
Are you a fan of American Psycho?
I love that movie.
Yeah.
It is a literal comedy.
It is.
Yeah.
I tried to show my friend Beau is Afraid. I don't know if you ever heard of that movie.
No.
It's like a fever dream, but if you don't know, if the person doesn't know what you're about to show them, it's very entertaining for people that have seen it before. It's one of those things.
What's it called?
Beau is Afraid. It's from Ari Aster. He did Hereditary, and then he did Midsommar. Oh, you saw Hereditary.
No.
Exactly.
I've seen both, dude. I've seen both. No wonder he did both of them. I didn't even know that.
I love those movies, dude.
Oh, you're sick.
I'm sick.
You're sick in the head. Why would you like those movies?
If you sat down and watched Beau is Afraid, just getting your reaction live would be it would be pure gold.
God, no, Beau is gonna vomit. Hell no, I can't watch that.
I can't watch anymore.
Hell
I can't
no.
watch anymore.
I'm not watching that, man. Dude, I can't believe I watched Hereditary and Midsommar in my lifetime. Those were disgusting movies, and whoever wrote that is sick in the head. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell he was thinking.
When I saw Hereditary on opening night, it was like a terrible day. I think I had like a fight with my girlfriend, and Deadpool 2 was out, and my buddy was like, "Let's go see a movie." And I was like, "I really do not want to go see Hereditary right now, dude."
Yeah.
But I ended up going, and man, did it hit.
I don't know. Important to note that her character debuted in 2022 in the book Queen's Hope. This is just the first time that the fact that she exists has trended. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, people don't really read those young adults books, or I don't.
It is horrible and disgusting that there is no trans woman clone trooper in Star Wars. It doesn't exist. Keep the real world stuff out of Star Wars. I really, like I've said a million times, don't care. I think it's, you know, you're putting like check boxes into Star Wars, and I just don't think that that's needed. And just tell a story, freaking hell. Just tell the freaking story. And then the colors of the clone trooper or the trans flag.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Like how what, like it, like on Camino they know this? Like, no, dude. Like, what, you're stop connecting world Earth with Star Wars stuff. Like, just make it a cool story. If they're trans, they're trans. If they're gay, they're gay. Who cares? Who cares? Why is there such an obsession?
It would be like getting a reference to like Eminem in a Star Wars movie. Like that's kind of how out of place it would feel.
Well, you know what? Even what felt out of place even was when they say hell in The
That
Empire
I
Strikes Back.
did. I thought so too.
That
Han Solo says, "I'll
felt
see
out of
you in
place.
hell." That's what he says, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll see you in hell. Like that felt out of place. So just stop doing it.
I love the idea of like Star Wars having their own unique curse words. I just think that that's such a fun idea.
Dank
What
ferret.
is man? Yeah, Dank Ferret. I love that so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, if the character's trans, let them be trans. If they're gay, they're gay. That's the way they were written. That's fine. But you don't have to like emphasize it so heavily. Let it be up to interpretation. Like, oh, you're kind of like, oh, is this character whatever. Like focus on the character's development, not who they're sleeping with or what they identify as or whatever the fuck you want to do. Like it's no one's business. Nobody's. No one's. Private.
Yep.
Do I care if freaking I don't know, God, Bib Fortuna slams Salacious B. Crumb when Jabba's not watching? No, I don't care.
I could have lived with that.
Do I want to know what the Rancor Keeper's doing with the Rancor? I don't know. Do I want to know what sexual orientation the Gamorrean guards are? I don't care. Just have Luke walk in, strangle the shit out of them, and continue on. I don't care, man. Do what you do. Do what you gotta
that
do.
one sentence is so much more disturbing than anything in Hereditary, I swear.
What?
Bib Fortuna and Salacious Crumb together.
We slamming Salacious Crumb when Jabba's not looking. It's possible. I don't know. Who knows? How do you know? You don't know. It's like Toy Story. When you're not watching,
what the monks are doing either.
What?
What the monks are doing behind the scenes either.
You never know. You never know anything. You never know anything.
People saying stop, please. I love that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter. Let's just make a cool story. The salaciousy. Yeah, that's funny. Han gets it. Well, like, and nobody cares that Lando now like bangs droids. Like, what is with this? You heard about that, right?
Yeah,
What?
I don't know. I forget what they called him. Where it was like he doesn't identify any way with like a sexual preference. They don't even have to be human. I thought that was.
I mean, like blow up dolls do exist. I guess.
I guess they do, and robots.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, man, whatever. Teach their own.
Banging a droid would hurt. That's what's.
He probably got like an aftermarket insert or something.
Yeah, an aftermarket part.
Oh my God, dude. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Boy.
Disney is big on diversity quotas because of one of the biggest stockholders, BlackRock, and they abide by the SEC, which promotes DEI. That's why the stories are lame. I invite you to research it. I've researched a lot. I just, I don't talk politics. I don't discuss too much beyond what we're here to talk about, because then it takes a different shape. But yeah, I know all about it. I've got my theories on it too. Wouldn't you think the Kaminoans would see a clone with an identity crisis as defective and maybe bend it? Not hating, just think it's a little strange.
I saw people address that on Twitter, and I think that in the lore they say something like her brothers would ensure that she was, known as fully
welcomed.
Yeah,
belonged.
So I think the implication in the lore is that her brother, the other clones, protected her, and I think there's even a line of her being worried about like being accepted by the Jedi, and there's being something like the Jedi believe in the ascension of the physical body. It's like they're having an argument that hasn't happened yet. It's like the writer writing the story. Oh.
Yeah, anyways, like I said, I don't care. Just make a good story. This is beyond lore breaking. Also, the Kaminoans would have seen this clone as defective and sister would have been terminated. Buzz's girlfriend. Fuck. Clones are already a storytelling opportunity to explore nature versus nurture, but until science pins down what causes trans, sister might not age well. Look, I want to say first and foremost, whether you're trans or gay or straight or whatever you are, you're a human being at the end of the day, and I feel every single human should deserve to live comfortably and happily and feel included in society as long as they are a good citizen and a good person and they're not harming anybody. But beyond that, I don't understand the constant obsession the Western world has with really emphasizing on someone's sexuality. And I'll say this till the cows come home. I don't care what your sexuality is. It's not my business. Just as long as you're a nice person, cool. I don't really give a shit about anything else.
I agree. I concur. Judge by character.
Yeah, judge by character. At the end of the day, we're all just humans, and we're on this planet for a finite amount of time. So, however you want to live your time on this planet, I ain't someone to tell you how to do that. And that's it. Just don't tell me how to live my life. Just got the new $500 Lego Jabba's sail barge. Will look nicely with my Lego 650 Venator, 800 Millennium Falcon, 600 Razor Crest, and 240 Land Speeder. It'll look even better with your Hermit 4 Weathered from TheorySabers.com that just dropped. That's definitely for sure. You got that amount of cash. I mean,
that is a badass collection, though.
Yeah, it is.
That is sick.
So, Spectre, what's next on the list? What's next on the list for the Lego? Man, do you remember Bionicle?
Yeah, I love Bionicle.
Yeah, me too.
I always thought that like they felt better in my hands playing as a kid, like a little looser plastic.
Yeah. And like when you like lock them in the sockets.
And they looked cooler like when you would combine them.
Yeah.
Thought so.
Just wanted to reiterate in case you missed the previous one that this book is not the first time the character... Oh, yes, we read that one. Thank you, MPH.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. By the way, me and Wave do split the soupies, so your super chats are going to the both of us. Are you still set on Stupendous Theory, or should we entertain some other names as well?
I'm down to entertain other names.
Chat, you can come up with some cool stuff. And then we'll do some polls and see how it goes. Over time, we'll figure it out. Hey guys, huge fan of you both. We had to put down our cat Cosmo today after a 3-week fight with lymphoma. He was 5 years old and was FeLV plus. FeLV plus. What is that? Anyways, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Would you let him favor in his armor?
Hardest thing.
He loved Stargrip. It is. It's sometimes harder than losing a human.
It is. I have 2 cats that I love them so much.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Thomas. It's going to get better, man. Time does make it feel better. A lot of people are in the same boat.
He wanted us to light up a saber in his honor. This is for Cosmo. May you rest in peace, buddy. I hope you're hanging out with all my animals too, and all the animals out there no longer in pain. That was probably the most harsh awakening for me was when my cat died of 17 years. Man, I lost it. I was 20, and so I had him when I was 21 or something. So I had him when I was really young, and gosh, that was horrible.
It's traumatizing. I mean,
yeah.
Gosh, animals. The thing for me with animals is there's no faking with them, man. Like you know where you stand with an animal, at all times, and when you connect with an animal, then you lose that one. It's just not the same. But
no,
it's life.
It is. And I remember I put down my bird a year and a half ago. He was like my best friend. And it's such a different connection with a bird. It's weird. It's like not like a dog or like a cat because they're They're like in your clothes. He would just hang out right here all the time, and he would just like have his head poking out, or he would like come up. I had a big beard, and he would like just nuzzle his head in there. It's just
Aw.
different. Yeah, and they're so smart. It was just so difficult. But that's life, and you got to make the most of it. We don't need whatever their identity or preference is. We love learning about characters and watching them grow, seeing their flaws and rising above who they are and being better.
Here, here.
All said. Been a tough and stressful week. Having some stupendous theory at work is going to make me happy and make it go by faster. Thanks, Theory and Stupendous. My clothes. Much love, man.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, dude. Why do they have to go weird? It's mad cringe. Shake my head. In a duel, Dooku beats Mace purely because Vapod isn't effective against a emotionally stable opponent.
Dude, I agree with him. I do.
Yeah, Tyrannus also elegantly outsmarts Windu in lightsaber combat with his supreme Makashi skills.
I think that fight is really close.
That would be a really cool fight.
I gotta. Oh my gosh, we talked about it before, but Vapad only worked perfectly with Palpatine, and he's right. Dooku is a more tempered soul, I guess you could say, and I think that it just wouldn't work out as well.
Yeah, I agree. It really wouldn't. It's like if Windu were to fight Anakin when he's still Anakin, it'd be difficult.
Yeah, I think I might pick Anakin at that. I mean, all the things people say about he's the greatest warrior of the Clone Wars. He's the greatest battlefield commander, and Windu's good, but he's not. He's not Anakin.
No,
I don't know.
Hell no, not at all.
That's so tough. I love Dooku so much.
Me too. The Kaminoans were meticulous in exerting their control over their genetics of the subject species. Even if we don't care about the character's sexuality, the Kaminoans wouldn't do this just because. I agree. They would have full genetic engineering control over their literal lab baby.
I think what's sad is this all proves that the lore is one of the last things on Disney's checklist when they make characters.
Yeah, dude, it's not even on their checklist.
Oh yeah, I guess it isn't. Think about the whiteboard.
That's a dumbass whiteboard. Stupendous Theory is better than Nerd Theory. With Josh gone, what are both your genuine thoughts on Luke Soka? I wouldn't say it's better. I'd say it's different.
Yeah, I love Josh.
Cool. Yeah. Luke Soka, I mean, that was a funny meme, but no.
I would love for Josh to come on here sometime.
Yeah, I invited him, was it 2 weeks ago? What's up, Az? I don't know if it was mentioned already because I jumped in late, but Sister was first introduced in a couple of novels prior to this. Okay. Right. What up, Matic? Do you think the SNCOs will be able to avoid mentoring the junior enlisted females because they are their sisters? SNCOs? What's this?
I'm sorry, it broke out for just 1 second.
I don't know, Alex.
I'm looking what is an NCO? SNCO? What was that?
SNCO.
I do not know what that is. Non-commissioned officer?
I don't know. Didn't they also try to make Obi-Wan a while back? Oh no, yeah, Obi-Wan is bi.
Did you know about this? Did
you know about this?
Yeah, I read his little the little paragraph where it's mentioned once.
Yeah, I don't understand why they prioritize pushing this stuff onto us. Maybe if they focused on making good story, they wouldn't be failing with the biggest movie franchise. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, they also made Obi-Wan Kenobi bisexual in a book. I think about a year ago. And it was I read it. I bought the book, I read it. I read The Passage, and it was pretty gay. It was pretty gay.
I think that the headlines make it sound worse than it is within the book. In the book, it's just like really passing. But again, that comes back to Disney being insincere.
Yeah, well, I just, so that's a different topic altogether. It's like, yeah, not only do we not care if someone's gay or trans or whatever, but if you now take a character that's already been pre-established to be straight or gay or whatever, and you then want to make them gay, why?
It's forced. Yeah.
I'd love to ask them why. And they'd probably be like, why not? Well, why? Well, Obi-Wan Kenobi was in love with Satine. Why? So it's clearly just a checklist, man. It's all checklist bullshit. It's not sincere or genuine. Hey boys, I want to make a place for this community to hang out, play games, watch movies, make D&D groups, theory crafting, etc. If you're interested, email me and I'll try to make it work. I don't follow, Justin. What do you mean? Like a actual physical location?
I would love a D&D Star Wars thing.
That'd be wild. Like Games Workshop kind of thing?
Yeah.
I've never played D&D, so I don't know what goes into it.
You would be really good at it. Really good at it. Because it's all about thinking quick on your feet in situations put upon you by the DM, and it's about, making interesting characters, and you get a lot. Yeah. Like D&D, it can be a board game, but it's more like crafting your own story as you play along. And that's the aspect. Oh, dude, it's so fun. It is so cool. You are introduced, you create your character, you create what they're good at, you create what they're bad at. You can have like interactions with the other members of your party, and then you have the dungeon master whose job it is to create a world that you then go play around in. And you can do easy stuff. Like one of the best times I ever had playing D&D was when it was like a zombie apocalypse one-off. So you only play for one session, and you have to figure out how to survive in like a certain location, and you have real arguments with people over what's the best option.
That's crazy.
It's so fun. You would be good at it.
That's wild. That'd be fun. Maybe we could play it like, can you play it online?
Yeah.
We could play it together for the first time. You could show me.
Yeah, we could play it together. They're online.
Holy shit, dude.
I think that would be such a fun stream, honestly. I think that would be so cool.
Holy shit. P. Addy Diddy.
Oh my gosh. Whoa.
Oh, he's got baby oil everywhere. Bro, he even got his like little tassel at the top. His little
That's awesome. That's skills.
Tip puby. The purpose of the clones was to serve as expendable soldiers. Who cares what they do in the bedroom? Doesn't add anything to the storytelling. I agree.
Correct.
Well said. Damn, what the hell happened to me? Shit. Hello there, both of you. Love y'all's content. How's Vader 2 coming along? Coming along great. 2080, I'll be 90 years old. I'll be freaking damned if I look like that. Shit. Sylvester Stallone's almost 80, man. I'm gonna be looking like that.
Jack still.
Probably better even, because the technology will just be better and better. P. Addy Diddy says, it's a galaxy far, far away, but the trans flag is still a thing. Can't wait for a clone trooper painted like the American flag, I guess.
We'll never get that.
That's a really good argument.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of new canon nonsense, figurative and literally. Nice to see you, man. Your profile still scares me. Stupendous Theory has a great vibe. Thank you both. Well, thank you for dropping in. Jordan Martinez, member for 46 freaking crazy long months, says, I saw this earlier today on X and didn't even think anything of it because it's just normal for Star Wars. Unfortunately, this franchise is too far gone. Yeah, it didn't surprise me either. The biggest issue is we go to the galaxy far, far away to temporarily escape the politics and stress of our own. We are tired of them dragging the controversial issues into this galaxy. Yep.
Yep.
Also, I got your Maul Slayer saber and I absolutely love it. My first toy saber was the telescoping version, so this was a wonderful blast from the past. Right on, man. Well, I'm glad you like it. Thank you. Make sure to leave a review on it if you can. I agree with Wave. For all its flaws, The Force Awakens sets something up. I remember being gassed trying to imagine who Snoke is and if Finn will be a Jedi related to Mace. Then The Last Jedi happened. Yeah, I feel like Force Awakens more or less opened up a lot of, interesting thoughts and doors.
Yeah, I think that that's as a film fairly solid. It's not a masterpiece, but it is not. It is better than what we've gotten recently for sure by a big margin.
Yeah. Jim G with $5, and he's a member, says, "Glad to see you both addressing the issue. Disney needs to stop the DEI crap and get back to real storytelling like George Lucas did. Love you both. Love you too, man. Thanks for dropping in." This is not about inclusion. This is about fetishism of certain modern day interests. Besides, representation is egocentric as fuck. Imagine going around telling others you need to see yourself everywhere. Yeah, and like that's the thing is, don't judge me by the color of my skin because I'm literally 3/4 Middle Eastern. Just so I happen to turn out this way, but I don't need to see a freaking Middle Eastern Jedi or whatever. Like, I don't know. And I think a lot of people who are a different minority would agree. Like, no one cares, man. Nobody gives a shit. Like, just tell a good story. That's all. That's all we want. We're here to be told a good story and connect with the character. That's it. It could be Toy Story or whatever you want. Monsters Inc. It doesn't make a difference. Freaking dude, Small Soldiers. I watched that movie so much when I was a kid, and I was obsessed with it. And those are freaking toys, and half of them were like creature alien things. We're even
Yeah.
human.
You don't need to, love characters because they look like you. I mean, I feel like that's such an obvious statement to say though, but everybody loves Yoda and there's not a lot of people that look like Yoda walking around out there.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It just feels like a troll more than a genuine attempt at representation. A way to stick it to toxic fans. Joker 2 gave off that vibe too. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that it's not even a real post. It's just something that maybe that part of the fandom, we all know who that group is, who coordinated to maybe like create this and put it out there and be like, let's let them expose themselves. It's like, all right, well, you get what you want.
Yeah, I guess so. I hate that idea. What a bad way to run a company. We're going to let our detractors, we're going to put out something to intentionally anger them for no reason. This doesn't build up our brand in any way. This doesn't build up our supporters in any way.
Well, no, if they're really serious about it, then put them into a movie.
Totally. Yeah.
That's simple. Put
Prove
the clone
it.
in the show, a movie, animated, live action, whatever. Political art works, political activism does not. It would also be foolish to preach right-wing agenda. Just make good Star Wars stories. That's it. It's very well
Yeah.
said. I feel like there's so many that just think the same way in that. It's like, I don't care. Like, I do CrossFit. I do CrossFit. I do CrossFit. I'm vegan. I'm vegan. I don't care. I'm trans. I'm gay. I'm straight. I don't care. It's not my business. Like, why are you making that your entire identity? There's so much more to you as a human being. It's bizarre to me. Don't know. Believe it or not, as soon as The Force Awakens came out, my father saw the writing on the wall. Over years, he's made jokes like, "You watch, son. One day the Jedi will be made protectors of abortion clinics."
I hope not.
Guys, do y'all know who Star Geek, aka Krister, is? I do not.
Is that a YouTube channel or something? I don't know either.
How do you think Tamora Morrison feels about them using his likeness for this?
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't even think of that.
I don't know. Probably. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I remember when I think it was Pablo made like a literal after that thing with me. He made a comic, and everyone was just tagging me and being like, "It's you, bro!" And it was like a wasn't it was a non-binary Jedi. Let me show you.
Oh, yeah, from the High
Literally,
Republic.
literally looked like me. Literally looked like me. It's crazy. I'll show you right now. Bro, you can't tell me that doesn't look like me.
You know, now that you say it, I never made the connection just looking at those characters.
Come on, bro. It's even got the same chin thing. It's got big lips. It's got the same nose. He's bald. He's even left-handed. He's left freaking handed, dude.
There's your proof. There's your proof.
What the hell? Why is he left-handed?
Why are there two of them?
I don't know.
I do not like those High Republic comics. Have you read any of those?
No, hell no. I read the first one. I read like one page or something, or yeah. And then once he started talking about like Yoda, I was like, nah, this is bullshit. I'm out of here. Anyways, I made it into a comic. Wait, I don't have a problem with her existing because it's one out of how many clones who is trans. Also, he was around for 2 years in a novel. Don't you mean she?
How dare you, Luke?
How dare you, you transphobe? Why do people hate? I don't think they hate on the fact that the character's trans. I mean, maybe transphobes do, but it's more so about why are we interjecting current world themes or whatever it might be into Star Wars, which never really predicated on sexual orientation to begin with, you know? So it's like what does that have to do with the story?
Yeah, I just think
Right.
the criticism needs to be made really clear. It's not a problem that there's a trans character in Star Wars. The problem is Disney's agenda and motivation to include this character.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's not, we don't have problems with it. Like you said, I don't care if you do CrossFit. I don't care if you're vegan.
No.
I don't care if you have, one leg or 10 legs. But what I do question is the legitimacy and the authenticity of Disney's decision to do this. Do they want to do it to make more money? Do they want to do it to anger a section of the fan base? Like, that's the part that's interesting to me. I think we're getting caught up in the semantics of it rather than calling it what it is, which is a business decision from Disney that we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just I question, what's the relevancy to the character's overall storytelling? And at the end of the day, it's like if they really want to do that, then put the character into a show. Front and center. Don't like hide it away in some book that nobody really reads. Front and center, put it into a movie or show.
And guess what? If it's good, I promise I will support it.
Yeah, me too, man. I don't care, bro. Are you telling me what? Like, trans people are people, bro.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what you do, what you choose, or how you want to live your life is how you want to live your life. What you want to do with your body is what you want to do with your body. It is not my business. It's not for me to tell you what to do or impose my beliefs or whatever it might be. I live my life according to my values and the way I want to live. That's it. To each their own. Now, if you want to go and do this or that or believe in this or identify as whatever you want to identify, that is your business. I'm not here to tell you otherwise. I don't care. But when it comes to Star Wars, just tell me a good story. That's all, man. I don't. I mean, Rey is a straight white woman, for all we know, and she's a horrible character.
That's a great example. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who else? It was I mean, the entire cast of the entire roster of the Acolyte just.
Well, here's another example. The one that I've thought of before is like in The Mandalorian season 2, you have a ton of women and people of color as your main characters, but no one cares because the characters fucking rock.
Yeah.
So
Reva.
Oh boy,
shit
Reva.
character.
I definitely know I don't feel anywhere near as passionately about Reva in terms of, I just haven't put a lot of thought into her. I was just waiting for the Obi-Wan stuff in the Obi-Wan show.
It doesn't really make sense for specifically clones because their focus would be on war, not their identity. It doesn't break canon, but it does make sense.
Correct.
The only fat Jedi I recognize is Fat Mace. How would you both have written the story for Ahsoka post Return of the Jedi timeline if written as trilogy? Star Wars was meant for cinema, not shows. Well, I think Dave's going to do that now with the Ahsoka seasons. No, anything?
Yeah, maybe with maybe it will feel a lot like a trilogy at the end of it because we'll get season 1, season 2, and then his movie, right? Maybe
well,
it could feel.
Yeah, I think the movie is going to be literally the first sequel trilogy movie.
Yeah. I hope. Oh, you think that the movie is going to then spring into its trilogy on its own?
Yeah, maybe.
That would be interesting. I would
Think
certainly
about it.
like that.
It's the first movie after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Like, timeline-wise.
How do you think the general audience is going to accept that in terms of, already receiving a sequel trilogy and knowing what the galaxy is going to look like? Because that's always the first question I get when I tell people when the next movie is set. So is that going to affect the box office? Is that going to affect people's enjoyment? What do you think?
That's annoying, I know.
Yeah.
I just put that out of my mind and I just watch it and kind of just see where it goes from there.
Yeah, it's hard to judge it when we haven't seen it.
It is. It's tough. But my trust in them is like just getting less and less. Is that the Rock from the Scorpion King?
Oh shoot! It does kind of
looks like the Rock,
like that.
Kylo Ren versus
Sister
Darth Maul.
Like that.
Rex versus Han Solo. Darth Maul kills Kylo Ren. Rex kills Han Solo.
I agree. Maul's just too well trained. It doesn't matter if Kylo has more potential. Maul is a trained killer. That is his job.
Yeah. Trenton Restoul says, have any plans on adding General Grievous lightsabers to Theory Sabers Fine Collection? I love the channel. Oh, thanks, Trenton. But we got a lot of plans to add a lot of cool stuff, man. Wait and see. I don't even think trans people like stuff like this. If I were gay, black, or trans, I'd want to be represented by a good character, or not at all. Yeah. Yeah. At least I got represented. I hope she sticks around. Congrats, Theory. You are no longer a Star Wars fan.
Oh, that's not true.
I didn't know. All right. Didn't know you could discern that. Sam Wessel was a changeling. They're an allegory representation of the LGBTQ plus, in my opinion. This was George's thing to teach kids they'll see different stuff. I thought the way I took that when I was 12 was that don't trust what you see. Don't trust what you think, because it could be something else. I think a changeling is no different than Mystique in the X-Men. The point of a changeling is to change forms, to blend into its surroundings and like be a spy and all that. I don't think it necessarily has anything to do with LGBTQ plus. And at that point, there was no plus. I think it was just LGB. Back in 2002, we didn't even have that.
Honestly, I haven't really analyzed that scene all that much or put a ton of thought into it. It just scared me as a kid. That's all.
Yeah. What about you guys? Chat. Since Disney is feeling inclusive, they should make a character with epilepsy so I can feel included. They should
seize.
What about a clone with asthma? I have
Oh
asthma.
man.
How about a clone with asthma? Maybe a clone with peanut allergy. Maybe a clone with gosh, I don't know.
But it's hard when they're all supposed to look the same and function the same.
Give a clone an STD.
Oh boy.
But they're asexual. They're not supposed to be, so that doesn't even make sense. I guess unless you're cut
Fat people keep saying fat clone. Oh, one person keeps saying.
Add a I don't give a F answer. I just want story. Also, you get a soul. You get a soul. I think that they skipped over film execs with that one. Shit. Damn, bro.
Shots fired.
God damn. Hey, Wave, did you know that Anakin killed Dooku twice with a doppelganger created by Dooku?
I did know that, yes. I think that's from a video game. But those doppelgangers are not as strong as the real deal.
Hey, fellas, who would cast as Darth Revan, and who would you want to direct the film series? I still think Keanu Reeves.
Really? I think that may be just... I might go unknown, personally, for me.
Two on the nose? Yeah.
I want to see... I don't know. First off, I think Keanu's a little old for the Revan story where I would want it to start. I don't have an actor in mind for Revan, but I do think that there's a ton of potential there. He is essentially the proto Anakin in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people forget just how integral Revan is to like how the Sith move forward, in terms of he's really one of the first to introduce the idea behind the rule of two, not training too many apprentices. I just think a Revan story would, flow masterfully into a Bane story. And that's what I would want to see.
I agree. I think they could do that with Keanu, though, if they just de-age him. Make him, like how old he was in The Matrix.
Yeah.
I guess could do it.
Could do that. I don't know. I think
you want something. You want someone else. Yeah.
I think I just want someone unknown,
Feel it.
You can sense it.
I'm behind on the stream, but I agree with both of you. I'm 100% for inclusion, but in a world with literal aliens, why would this matter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Important not about the trans clone trooper. Sister first appeared in 22, not a new character. This is just the first time the character has been trended. Yes, indeed. Arthur says this quote and sister's introduction are from E.K. Johnston's YA book, Queen's Hope. The book was mid and the scene was out of nowhere, yet I still think it was a nice moment. Thank you, Arthur. I think at this point people need to stop trying to rationalize what Star Wars is doing. Stop trying to find a way to fit this in and just say no. Well, my thoughts on that is like, why? My question is why? How does this help the story in any sort of way? Do I need to know? I don't. No one cares. No one cares what someone's sexual orientation is. And that's not to say no one cares about trans people. That's the same to say no one cares about straight people. Nobody cares what your sexual orientation is. I don't know. I don't know what the obsession is. I judge you as a person.
Sexuality in Star Wars just has such a difficult time mixing to begin with, though. I really just don't want that stuff in my Star Wars stories all that often.
No.
Like, I don't want sex in the forefront of my Star Wars story, I mean.
No. It was weird in Andor. I was like, why is this happening?
It's distracting in The Acolyte for, like, it's distracting. Ugh.
Yeah. Like I said, when Han Solo said hell, like that even was like, what? I don't want to think about Earth. Love you guys. Please rock on. Always push against the woke.
Thank you, Joe.
I still don't know. I have a super cool character opening scene idea for one I really want you to make. Could we talk when free and see your idea on it? Man, I would love to. Honestly, I do not have a single freaking moment outside of Theory Sabers, Vader, my book I'm writing, and the channel. I don't have time. So, you should make it and release it.
Come back and share when it's done.
Yeah, why not? One step closer to Kathleen reaching her one win to retire. How do you guys feel about the other galaxy in Ahsoka Peridia? At the time, I thought it was amazing, but now I don't care for it. The OG galaxy now feels too small and less expansive and mysterious. I thought it was cool.
I like Peridia a lot. I like the idea. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. I like the concept of Peridia a lot. I like the idea of going through a different galaxy. And a lot of why I like it is because of what it does for my own headcanon with Maul and like Palpatine's motivations with wanting to train someone whose power could originate from somewhere else. I like the idea. I was hyped when they jumped to Peridia.
Yeah.
I think it looks kind of boring, but
yeah.
Oh, and all the Zepho stuff too.
Yeah,
the Zepho connection is really cool.
Yeah.
Ancient Force wielders.
Disney connected to Diddy. Gosh. Everything in Star Wars is different, but there's a logic to it. There's brains about the practicality of little things, and designs, even with the alien biology. The Kaminoans would have terminated the clone as subversive with more zeal than they had for 99. That is... Well, 99 was kind of useless in the sense where he was just old, so they were like, we have no use for this guy.
I love 99, though. His whole story is like old dude. So good.
I hear good things about Sophia in Penguin.
She's great.
Who's Sophia?
Sophia Falcone. She's the daughter of what's his name? The big mob boss in the Batman. She's really great. She does a great job acting alongside Colin Farrell, and she's really unpredictable. She's just gets out of Arkham, and she's a former serial killer known as the Hangman. She's fascinating.
Oh, cool.
Penguin is so good.
You've said. I'll have to give it a watch. I love Batman, so.
Who's your favorite Batman?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. I know it's not, live action, but Conroy has always been, if I'm reading anything, that's whose voice I read Batman as.
Yeah. Just want to give a shout out to my other channel, Star Wars Theory Plus, which is where all of the clips from this live stream, the highlights, important stuff that maybe you don't have time for or you missed on the main channel goes. So we're almost at 100,000 subs on there at 76K. So if you want to, if you've got a busy schedule and you don't want to miss out, make sure you go to Star Wars Theory Plus. You fascists, how dare you make such a live stream? Just Josh and love the content. Please come back to Denver. Was out of town. Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to actually see Denver. I only saw the hotel room, really.
I've never been. I've heard it's like incredibly beautiful.
I saw the mountains from my hotel room. Look nice. If anything, Star Wars Theory brought the Acolytes viewership up with the watch parties. He's the only reason I kept watching. Yet somehow, him giving it a fair shot and not liking it is the problem. Yeah, you can't put too much time or thought on those kinds of people, man. They think they know everything about YouTube and viewership and numbers and even how the world works, but they just come from a place of hatred, and it just completely clouds their judgment. That's why they're just so easy to dismantle. Hey, man, been loving the new pod and been loving seeing you grow in life with the company and Vader 2. I need to order Luke Episode 6 Saber one day. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Oh, we got all of your Saber needs, man. We got a full-time team of 5 people, customer service, around the clock. Just whatever you may need. A lot of it's like people being like, Theory, I love you. Like, could you come on my podcast? But when we do have questions or anything, they're always there. So if you got any questions, man, shoot them a message. They are not taking a brush and painting one part of the fandom or anything like that. They just hate white people and think light-skinned people are all inherently racist, which in itself is race. Oh, dude, they are literally the racist ones. Yeah, absolutely. Fully agree.
Yeah. If you just look up the definition of racism, like, it's pretty tea.
Yeah. Hello there, it's me again, Sith Triumphant. What's up? Love you guys, and I need a fan fiction on what if Anakin was trained by Qui-Gon and Plagueis. Would you guys be up for a joined what if series amongst each other?
Oh, hell yeah, I would. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I think Qui-Gon and Plagueis would, their personalities are the opposites. They would not get along. I don't think they could train Anakin together at all.
Not at all.
I mean, Plagueis is like the most selfish Sith Lord. The thing that always annoyed me about Plagueis in his book, and where I sort of connected with Palpatine, is when Palpatine's like, he's expecting me to do all this work and then just elect him as co-chancellor.
Yeah.
Palpatine's arrogant, but Plagueis is another level.
Just a completely
like
different machine.
He's really self-absorbed.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. People had an issue with Omega 2. Imagine caring so much. Wow, they made another CT chick. Big deal. Just make the character good, which they can't. Yep. I agree. Dude, I feel like Star Wars has been on the decline, and I've honestly lost hope it will ever get better. So I have been looking into Warhammer 40K. I just can't bear the sad state of Star Wars. Yeah, well, I know where you're at with that, man. After the Acolyte, I'm just like, yeah.
We feel it as creators. Like, we feel it a lot. And sometimes it's hard, even though we love this franchise so much, when it's not doing well or it's being really adversarial, sometimes it's hard to want to make videos or to want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Even though you love this thing so much, some days it doesn't feel like it. Some days it doesn't feel like the thing that you really latched onto in the first place. And I think that's what people are experiencing. And that's what's sad. Like, it doesn't feel like Star Wars anymore.
No. Feels
and
totally
now,
different.
But now Disney has created their own portfolio and their own archive now. So the conversation hasn't been about like, this doesn't feel like Star Wars, but maybe they can course correct. Now it's almost as if they're two separate franchises in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it does.
And I hate that. I hate that.
Me too. Anyways, Blake, looks like you're in the military. Thanks for your service, man.
Thank you, Blake.
You'd hope so.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I caught you online. Love you both. I'm going to sub to you, Stupendous. Hell yeah, there we go.
Thank you.
When do the Sith fleeces start shipping? Hey, Spectre, shoot me a DM on that, because it's October. They should have started shipping at the end of August, so probably a few would have started. Stragglers probably would have shipped into, depending on when you ordered, into probably late September. So you should be getting it this month. But of course, if you don't, reach out to customer support or DM on one of the social media. Cert became a YouTube member. The white flag was literally designed by a degenerate fetishist. Look it up.
The trans flag.
Oh. Okay. I don't know any history about it.
Neither do I.
Yeah. At least make the character fit into the universe. What up, dude? He says, stop projecting our realities, problems, and ideals onto these characters. It don't work. Base the problem on a character and their stance in the galaxy.
Yep, correct.
You guys are just speaking facts, really. I thought stormtroopers were simple-minded. Why would trans even be a thing? They are created to serve the Empire.
I don't know if I'd call them simple-minded. I would call them universally minded with a singular goal.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not that, in our lives we have things like relationships, finances that we worry about, and our brain's power goes to all those things. But I've always thought that the Kaminoans constructed the brain of the clones to be hyper-focused on the task of soldiers. So it's not that they're not, less intelligent. It's just that they are insanely focused.
Right. Indeed.
Which is why they don't question the Republic when they are literal slaves.
Yeah.
Because those part of their programming has been, so efficient. and there's like scientific aspects to it as well as nurture aspects to it.
Aren't clones a complete copy of the source host? With that being said, wouldn't it be impossible for a clone to be trans unless it was just by choice? Isn't it always by choice?
I'm not versed enough in the current conversation to have to know it.
Would a clone's a copy of the source host? With that being said, wouldn't it be impossible for a clone to be trans just by choice? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's starting the whole argument of, is being trans a choice or is it not, and just
that's an
there's
argument.
No clear answer. Yeah, a lot of people are of the opinion that being trans is not a choice, that it is,
But don't whatever. Okay. Anakin said to her, the Jedi are all about transcending thing. I don't think we can complain if you gave transcended gender is what is in the book. Huh?
I think that what they're saying is there's more context of like Anakin writing that he accepted her, and that the Jedi focus on transcending their physical needs and their physical desires for a greater good. That's sort of the through line that I think the creator of the creator of this book is trying to illustrate. So they're trying to tie it in with the whole Jedi thinking.
I'm so happy I grew up watching the PT. I hate it for the kids watching the Disney version of Star Wars. Disney has put Star Wars on life support, in my opinion. It's not the same, man. Y'all rock, loving the new content. Thanks, Poe Clean Aaron. Why can't Disney keep their grimy claws out of George's legacy? Just make Star Wars content. I miss 2005 Star Wars. Thank you, Theory, for all you do. Well, thanks for being here, Robbie. Being trans is not a choice, gender dysphoria, but doing the transitioning is. Okay, well, I know nothing about that. I just thought it's a... Don't you have to choose to consciously change into the gender you feel more comfortable in? Is that not how it works?
I think that there's an argument out there it's like it's something that happens at birth. This is not something where I spend a lot of my time looking into. I'll just be honest.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this.
So, but I think it's okay to say that. I think sometimes people would gain a whole lot more. They just said, I don't know a lot about this. And I'm just going to say that right now. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know either. The Old Republic game cutscenes are better than what's giving us. Y'all's thoughts. Yeah, I mean, those cutscenes are timeless, dude. They're amazing.
They're masterpieces. They are.
Stupendous. Did you guys read the X-Wing book series? That's how I got into the ETU and absolutely love it. Curious on your thoughts by Stackpole.
I have not read it. Is it good?
I haven't read all of them.
Oh. I'm more, if it's an EU book, I'm going Sith related, man.
I don't know what my deal was when I was a kid. I feel like maybe I had some crazy ADHD or ADD. I don't know what the difference is, but I'd get a book, I'd read some of it, and I just wouldn't be able to finish.
Yeah.
Unless I was really enthralled, a series of unfortunate events, read all of those. Harry Potter books, I read those sometimes twice. The Chrysalids, I loved that book. The Outsiders, I loved that book.
The Outsiders is such a good book.
Yeah. There's a few books as a kid that I just couldn't put down. But for the most part, a lot of the Star Wars books, I would read them, and then I don't know, maybe I was too young and it was too advanced for me. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I found just listening to them on the audiobook was so much easier.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Lord of the Rings was too difficult for me as a kid.
My mom read me Lord of the Rings as bedtime story every single night, and it was so cool. I loved it so much.
That's
she read The Hobbit, Then she read all of Lord of the Rings, and then I remember being so excited to go to the Lord of the Rings after she read them all with me. A lot of what I fall in love with today with being nerd stuff comes from that, from like stories she would read, the Narnia stories, just a fascination with these beautiful large worlds.
Yeah, no, definitely. Lonos. Sister's whole existence is to be Lucasfilm's equivalent of a soda can logo to promote Disney's version of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. Stay shiny. Wait, wrong IP. Whose lightsaber is your favorite in Star Wars? Anakin's, Palpatine's.
Luke Skywalker's Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
That's got to be my all-time number one.
Vader's.
Dude, I think Malgus's lightsaber is sick. It's like the knives on both sides.
It's so sick. Is it?
I love the idea of him like turning it off mid-fight and like stabbing someone.
Oh, it's downstairs. Wave of Theories would be a cool name.
I kind of dig that name.
I would buy the Hermit Saber, but I'm waiting to see if I can win the free saber contest first. Oh, wait. No, we already... Oh, for the video. Right. Yeah, because I gave one away already on Instagram.
Oh, someone in the chat says XR Kun's lightsaber. That's also a phenomenal choice.
A badass one. What's up, Bryce? Thank you. Have you seen Star Wars Girl's new YouTube video about Sawyerism versus the YouTubers at LACC? I have not.
I haven't either.
Should I be watching this? I tend to really stay out of drama as much as I can. Like, I'll get into stints here and there, and then I'll just be like, if I really have something to say about something, man, I'll make a video about it. But otherwise, stick to myself as I have for 8 years. But I'll check that out. I'll watch that. See what it's about when I have some time. 2 ideas for names: Wave of the Force and Theory Tides. Well, I'd want something where we have Stupendous' name in there as well. A CIS sniper would see one clone painted special. Gender identity is a Western world conspiracy theory. This is 100% extreme left political pushing. It's a waste of time to be okay with it because the bad actors only see that as a green flag to keep shoving it in our faces. Thanks, Jay. Hearing Stupendous mention YouTubers like Evanova95 and Jensari1 was awesome. Love their Versus series, possible guests in future podcasts.
Yeah, those were the Star Wars YouTubers before I started, and they are
crazy.
They are.
Where are they now?
I think that Evan Nova still posts. I think Jensari1 posts once in Blue Moon too, but they are extremely knowledgeable in Legends continuity. Their content is incredible. I love it. I love their Versus series.
Yeah, I'm watching this channel now. A month ago was his last video.
Yeah, they're not frequent posters, but it is always really a treat when they do, because that's the stuff I listened to when I was in high school and like starting to read the Plagueis novel. So they sort of helped create the bridge into a lot of my love for Star Wars Legends. I highly recommend both of those channels. Wow. Anyone watching?
Yeah, 2011 was crazy.
That's how long ago they were posting Star Wars content, is 2011.
Well, he made the channel in 2011.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so he made his channel, was that 3-4 years before I made mine. Wow. If we're talking about Evan Nova.
That's crazy. Most people need to learn that Disney doesn't actually care about gender, race, LGBT stuff. Disney just wants money. Well, if they really wanted money, they'd just write better stories.
I think they do want money. I just think that they don't know how to handle Star Wars. I think it's just as simple as that.
It's my theory that I think what they're trying to do is because they don't know how to write proper stories, they're just trying to throw in representation on different people and groups in the hopes that those people will be like, oh my God, there's something that represents me that I equate my entire identity to. so let me go and support this project. It's like, okay, but then they do that, and then they're like, you know what, this was actually a shitty project. I hope they make something better. So it's like you're failing. You're just constantly going to fail at that point. Just make a good story, and you'll have something super profitable that's timeless.
Correct. And the amount of stories that they can tell is the frustrating part. You know, tell a story about the Jedi Shadows, tell a story about the low levels of Coruscant.
Yeah.
You know, go back in time, go forward in time.
People so should wear bulletproof socks? I don't understand.
I don't get it either. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Order.
I don't know. What does that mean? Why would they have to wear bulletproof socks?
There was a thing that I was researching in the lore recently that I thought was awesome, which was after Exar Kun sort of nearly conquered the galaxy. Oh, what?
Because they keep shooting themselves in the foot.
Oh,
that's a funny one.
Too clever for me.
D&D is like KOTOR, but done with pen and paper, and you play with other people, if that makes sense. Oh, okay. It's interesting.
Yeah, D&D.
Can you make a lore video story about Star Weirds? They are creepy AF and would be dope to see live action.
We talked about them last week. They're sort of like a manifestation of the dark side in the unknown regions. They're interesting.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually in a Star Wars D&D group. I'm a Gungan bounty hunter named John Wick.
That's so awesome.
That's funny. Prodigal Son affordable is glorious, as the grip guard are clean and excellent for spins, no doubt. The bulky switches, etc., on truer replicas look like spins would be harder. Rico on a badass one for spins. Recommendation on a badass one for spins. Prodigal Son. I mean, any of the non-replica ones would be your best bet. I mean, Gradient, Alien. I mean, here's the Gradient. I mean, look at that. Perfect for spins, dude. Perfect. Power on. Very simple. This one is... We have a sale going on, so it should be just about $100.
It looks like
all of our
sorry, go ahead.
Fonts and everything. It looks like what?
It looks like the lightsaber hilts that the Starkiller clones use. I like it.
Yeah, it's cool.
I love simple hilt designs.
Very simple. Yeah, we have a lot that are very, very simple. And cheap. And we obviously have the more expensive ones. Baby oil lightsabers for a P. I Diddy. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to pull this agenda crap on Luke or some other major character next. Yeah. These theory supporters show more creativity with their profile pics names than everyone hired at Lucasfilm. If you want a fantastic intro to D&D, watch Deborah Ann Wool teach John Bernthal how to play. It's like a 2-minute clip and summarizes the spirit. Wow, cool. When do we get more news about Vader 2? I mean, it's coming out in the spring, so pretty much almost there.
Do we know when we might get like a trailer or something?
Probably in the spring, because I'm not going to like... Well, I was potentially going to just hold off on releasing it until 3 is closer to being ready.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So if that's the case, I might release. We'll see. Alan, the Commando Elite are in the trees, but I'll drop some more screenshots and stuff soon. Getting my ass handed to me by law school right now. Seeing you guys live made my day. Wore my cufflinks Vader tie to court today as well. Keep it up. Awesome, Nick.
That's so cool, dude.
Yeah.
Good luck, man.
Good luck, dude. Will Stupendous Wave make an appearance for the Rey movie Stargrift, if there really is one? Prayers for those affected by the hurricane hail. If he wants, but those are two different shows, so totally up to him. How about calling it Explaining Star Wars?
Alex
or Alex Moss.
You guys are creative. You guys are.
That's pretty funny. Member for 30 months. What up, corned beef hash? Thank you. Evil cannot create, it can only subvert and destroy. You should name this stream the Council of the Force or the Last Force Wielders. It's too long. Stupendous non-binary theory. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. This is going to get a hand. Now there are two of them. Hey, Theory, I'm Byron's girlfriend. We watch your videos together all the time. I love your perspective, so I'd love to know, what do you think would happen if on Mustafar Padme agreed to rule the galaxy with Anakin? Oh, that'd be sick. Well, he'd probably go off and continue to be loyal to the Emperor. I think he would play the game a little bit until he reached like a extreme level of power where he could literally overthrow him and kill him. And then he would do exactly that. He would rule the galaxy with Padme and do what he wants. They would have Luke and Leia. They would be trained. I don't think Anakin would be as purely evil as Vader was, because there would be no reason to be. I think everything
so
would be
interesting.
Good. Yeah, everything
That's so
would be
interesting.
Fine. Yeah.
Because with me, I think, once you walk down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny.
Yeah.
I think maybe there's some repercussions that Anakin would run into that maybe he wasn't quite ready yet. I think that what if story would be crazy. I would love the idea of maybe one of the twins learns a little bit more about the Jedi Order when they're being indoctrinated with the dark side, and you sort of have the inverse of the Anakin story, where maybe Luke or Leia finds, because we have all these stories about Jedi discovering Sith holocrons. What happens when a Darksider discovers a Jedi holocron? Dude, I would love that.
Yeah, that would be neat. That would be cool. Thanks, Madison.
Yeah, great question. Thank you, Madison.
What do you think of Geetsley, Star Wars Reading Club, Lore Master, Scoundrels Cantina, and Star Wars Comics? Also, Stupendous. I hope you're okay because of the hurricane.
Thank you, man. I'm doing good. I just literally only had one of my screens destroyed, but other than that, really lucky.
That's not good.
No, not great, but dude, some people got just obliterated. They got whacked. But hurricanes are tough. They're no joke. I wish people were more for helping and supporting one another before the hurricane. Everybody's super supportive after, but like I hate going out beforehand trying to prepare and seeing the mentality of every man for themselves. Like that just is really disappointing. But afterwards, everybody's so cool.
Yeah, that's good.
But in terms of those channels, I think Geetsley's is great. Star Wars Reading Club, OG, one of the best, most underrated Star Wars channels out there, in my opinion. Lore Master's great. I don't watch a lot of the Scoundrels Cantina, but good. And then Star Wars Comics is extremely kind, and I like his channel a lot.
Oh, yeah?
That's just a brief review.
In the beginning of the only ones that were nice to me and kind to me with like zero weirdness was Lore Master, who used to be Fact Free, and Star Wars HQ. And Mike Zero was actually nice to me as well.
Yeah, I haven't had any personal interactions with Star Wars Reading Club or Geetsley's, but just exchanged some DMs with Comics and Lore Master, and I'm just talking about their channel, but I haven't had any, personal experience with any of them. You're really it, dude.
Yeah. Pivot. What are the chances they bring the Yuzon Vong in the mainstream films and they make Papa Palpatine's story about preparing for their arrival? That'd be neat.
I think that the first part of that statement is very likely, and the second, I hope, is less likely.
Yeah, I think incorporating some sort of a villain that doesn't have the Force is probably the way to go.
Yeah, totally.
I think that would be really cool.
You need something different, and Thrawn is good, but that Vong is something different entirely.
Totally. I still don't understand how Disney hasn't learned yet with all the billions of dollars they've lost since this stupid agenda's first day. How do they even keep allowing it? Think about how many people lost their jobs because of KK. Oh, dude, I know. I know.
Money's not
Boys.
going to fix Star Wars.
No, good storytelling though. In Return of the Jedi, Vader knew Luke had a sister, but did he know Leia was the sister? Cheers from a fellow 27-year-old in Orlando.
Dude, let's go.
What do you mean, the sister? Oh, no. Return of the Jedi. Yes, I do. I do
So
think he knew Leia was the sister.
So the question is, oh, so you think in that moment he has the realization that Leia is his daughter?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, that's what I always thought.
To be honest, I've never even entertained that idea that like he would put that together. Huh.
Yeah. What bothers me most about this stuff is when corporations seek to make a mascot rather than a character because that's the easier path to making money. It's lazy, arrogant, and out of touch and distasteful. Yeah, I would argue that, you should just make characters who they are and not make them to be a mascot, literally, because that's you're just using them at that point. Sister is nothing more than a mascot for Lucasfilm Disney version of the Clone Wars. She serves no actual purpose to the story but to spread agenda.
Yeah.
Have you seen Conan the Barbarian? Yes, I think you're going to love it. The protagonist is a muscular guy. Oh, well, I guess I'll love it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I've seen it. I grew up with all those movies. Ventress, Bad Batch, and or Clone Wars sabers, please. I wonder what Tamora Morrison would think of this. This is crazy, says Tyler Higgins with a massive super chat to the both of us. Just wanted to send some admiration and appreciation to the channel. Thank you for always staying true to your opinions with Star Wars. Never change. Thanks, Tyler. Very kind of you. Ace Sosa. Thank you, Ace. I have IBS. More clones need to be in yeah. I'm excluded. Disney gave me a fat autistic clone. I would have thought the Kaminoans would remove unnecessary parts from the clones to make them more efficient or something like that. It seems like something the Kaminoans would do.
That does seem like something the Kaminoans would do.
It does. An unaltered clone, just for Django. It's like Boba's like Django, what's unaltered about this clone? He's got a dick.
Sometimes I just don't need answers to some questions, you know?
Yeah, it's wild. Love the show. Been reading Star Wars books. Some are pretty fun. Also, quick reminder that the pee is stored in the ball, in case you forgot. Right on.
Thank you.
So happy you two are doing the stream together. Love both your channels. Excited about the new Mace Windu book. Ahsoka Season 2 starts filming in 2025. Met Iman at Fan Expo Dallas 2023. May the Force be with you. Thanks so much, Serena. Let me change to Mozilla so it stops freezing. Every time I'm on Chrome, it freezes for whatever reason. Don't know why. I don't know why.
Thank you, Serena. All right, we lost him, guys. Looks like for just a second. Oh, there you go. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't hear you, man. Can you hear me? Oh, shoot. Yeah, no, I can't hear you.
Okay, how about now?
Oh, yep. Now I can.
Yeah.
Let's go.
This is where we were. This is where we are now. Furry Trooper will be next. Watch.
I hope not.
It makes no sense in Star Wars. As a society, they are light years past that. They literally are creating people however they like. Also, as someone with asthma, I'm sad they haven't recanonized Clone Commander C's brother Weezer.
C's is such a good name for a clone. C's, I love it.
Warhammer's got all types of characters, including trans characters, but the fan base is okay with it. Why? The characters fit the universe and are well written. Does Warhammer have trans characters too?
I hear Warhammer is great. I haven't played any of it, or is that another tabletop? What is Warhammer?
Yeah, it's like you got miniature figures that you paint and part of your army, and they fight. Gotcha. It's I guess like Dungeons and Dragons kind of. I don't know. I never played it. I always wanted to. Anyways, we rewatched the Old Republic Betrayed trailer today, and it's amazing. We can't get more. Oh, you will. Well, Vader episode 2 and 3 will be of that caliber.
That's exciting to hear.
Yeah, it's going to look the same. Maybe even better. Make a Darth Revan film, RAF pilot here. Sorry, I should have went into more detail. Qui-Gon starts his training, then dies. Anakin is... Oh, that's cool. Anakin's found by Plagueis.
Ooh. So how long would you have him train under Qui-Gon before Qui-Gon dies then?
Let's say like 4 years or something.
Oh, so okay. Anakin's 8 13. In the Phantom Menace. Okay, yeah.
He's 9.
Is he 9?
Yeah, he's 9.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And then he's 13 by the time Qui-Gon dies, let's say, and then that'd be cool.
That would be cool. I definitely think Plagueis would have to be careful. You know, he would have to approach it like Palpatine did, as like the old friend and the confidant. But Plagueis is a little bit more, fast and loose sometimes than Palpatine is. And I think that he may not be as successful.
No, that's the dangerous part of it. The best new Star Wars show will be both of you playing D&D. Please make it happen. Okay, let's do it. Maybe next week we can play it online.
We'd have to get a DM and a group, but yeah, we can. I'll talk to some people.
Okay, you round up the crew, and then maybe we can make a D&D crew for the chat. You all can join.
That would be so cool.
Remember, I got a big Discord, guys, so you guys can join that and like coordinate and convene. What happened to stories being a way to escape the real world? Now it's like we can't escape reality anywhere we go.
Yep.
Yeah, you're telling me, man. Either way, Sister does Order 66, got blocked by the author who created Sister for asking. I guess it's a Mary Sue who transcends the chip. You got blocked for that?
Just for asking if they executed Order 66?
That's crazy. Who's the author? I wonder if I'm like blocked already.
Pre-blocked?
Pre-blocked? Like, who's the author of the book? Chat, you tell me and I'll search it.
I mean, I wonder if she would execute Order 66 too. That was like one of my first thoughts. They all executed it pretty much. There's no extreme negative connotation with that.
Okay, so wild thought, but how open are you to doing a monthly drawing on the channel? The winner gets to do a trivia battle against you. If they win, they get a free saber. Well, how about we forget the trivia? We just do, if they win, they get a free saber. It's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. We should do giveaways in these live streams too. I think we should start doing that. Yeah, maybe every week.
I like that idea.
Just do a saber giveaway. Yeah. Okay, so what's the name of the author? Author is Mary Sue. Fuck. Okay, no one knows the name of the author. All right. E.K. Johnston? No, she made a Ahsoka novel. E.K. Johnston's the author? Oh.
I really like the Ahsoka novel. Queen's Shadow, Queen's Peril, Queen's Hope.
No, I'm not blocked.
Are they confirmed to be the author, the E.K. Johnston?
I guess. Right? It's the author, isn't it?
I'm trying to. If the chat says that's who it is, I mean.
Oh, well, there's not really much there. Maybe it's a fan account. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that one. The one that I clicked on was just like updates from her. That's the one I saw.
Okay. Where is it? Can you guys find it on screen here? What's a novel? E.K. Johnston's the author. Authors. No fight. How are you today? I'm doing good. So, is that the author?
I'm trying to find it. I'm not seeing any confirmation.
Let's just not forget, guys. Let's just not forget.
Written by Mark Sumerak.
Oh, well, why did they say it's E.K. Johnson?
I don't know, but it's not.
Man, you guys suck. Troll me hard like that.
Let me look up.
Whoa. Mark Johnson?
I was trying to see if he has a Twitter account. I can't find it.
Who cares anyway? So I'm not even focused on this.
I get like that too, man. Even I could care about something not that much, but if the brain is like keep going,
I'm like, I want to figure this out, and then I'm just like, whatever. Who cares?
But no, it was not E.K. Johnston that wrote that.
That's hilarious. I got trolled.
Oh, they said E.K. Johnston is the creator of Sister, so she maybe wrote the last young adult novel, but she's not the author from this one.
Got you. I'm thinking Disney is crashing Star Wars purposely to cover up the esoteric story behind it. Example, the Empire is the USA and UN. Oh my gosh.
That's an expensive allegory.
My God. Dat guy Doug. Aw, it's a cute photo. I want to fall in love with characters again. Tech ripped me up and they showed us they can write well. Let me fall in love, not force me to care. It's very well put. Very well put. Can you disable turn on voice on startup? I mean, yeah, if you go into the programmings and you got to program it, you can shut it off for sure. But that only happens with SN. You don't get that with Profi. So you don't hear my voice on Profi. You only hear my voice on SN. Theo, would you be interested in exploring stop motion effects for a future audio-visual project of yours? I'm up to the brim with projects that I got going on right now, so probably not. Dave Filoni and Star Wars Theory, please. Would you ever work with Thor Skywalker? You know, I still haven't watched one of his videos. Anakin's mother was gifted with a child from the Force, and the Jedi left her in chains. Why does no one bring this up? The fact that the literal Force chose her to raise its child. The only one in the galaxy it chose. Well, there's so much they can dive into, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, is that...
Dude, I made a video about Sly Moore on my channel, and doing research in her on Legends, the things that I discovered about her was apparently she was intended to be the mother of the perfect being that Palpatine and Plagueis were going to manipulate. And Palpatine had her stolen away from Umbara by Maul and then hidden away in this ancient Sith tomb in some hidden asteroid field somewhere. And eventually Palpatine went to her and rescued her from that fate.
Wow.
So the theory is that she was intended to be the mother of this perfect Sith being, but again, we know how it went.
Yeah.
A lot of people were saying that should have been the Acolyte show.
That would have been phenomenal. Much better.
She is described as the Acolyte, and you can connect with her because she's tragic at first and then, becomes slowly manipulated by the dark side. I think that sounds awesome.
Imagine Boba Fett doing an Alex Jones type of show. I want Disney to make good stories. This makes me hate politics so much. I myself am trans, and I agree with all of you who have said, all you two have said, I just would like trans people not to be hated for just existing. Oh, yeah. I mean, look, I don't think anybody should be hated for existing. And, never will you ever find me saying, like, some person does not deserve to live. No way. I think we're all on this planet, and how you choose to live your life that's your choice. You know yourself better than I do, right? So, that being said, what's the relevancy with someone's sexual identity or orientation or preference in a Star Wars show or as a character, And the argument can also be said the same for a straight character. I don't care. No interest. No interest to know. I just want to know, are you a good character? The same thing goes in life. I just want to know, are you a good person? That's all.
Exactly. You don't deserve to be hated just for existing. And that's not,
No.
a point that's trying to be said at all.
No. I think if anyone knows that feeling, it's people who were bullied endlessly their whole life just for, I don't even know. So yeah, definitely wouldn't want anyone else to feel that, because you know what it feels like.
Yeah, we've all been bullied. We've all felt lesser at some point. It's the worst.
Hey, a little late, but yeah, I did 4 years in the Marine Corps infantry. Well, thanks for your service, Blake.
My grandpa was a Marine. He's my favorite person of all time.
Thoughts on a clone with Down syndrome? Makes no difference to me, man. How do you write the character? Is the character important? Is it good? Is it like, how does the Down syndrome character fit into the story? If you're going to write them with Down syndrome, why are you writing them with Down syndrome? Is there a reason? Is there a heroic moment for the character? Is there is it more than just a checklist? Have y'all tried Star Wars Unlimited? I'm obsessed, and it's like MTG, but a better version of Star Wars. Feels incredible and super. I have not.
Neither have I. Is that like an app or something, or like?
Not sure. What's up, Venger? I see your buddy Pete Fletzer still dissing you on YouTube 2 days ago. He must love you as you're his favorite subject. Who's Pete Fletzer? Fleiser.
Who cares?
I don't know, man. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have something to say about me, but let me just say this. If I did not have the following that I have, nobody would care. And that really makes you question their legitimacy. If they actually really do disagree or agree with me, or are they just kind of going against the grain because that's all that they have to their name. And that's the only time people will give them attention, is if they're talking about someone who actually gets attention. And that's unfortunate. I would recommend that they go out and make a name for themselves on something that they're good at. Like I've always said, I talk about Star Wars, and a lot of people talk about me talking about Star Wars. It's interesting. It's wild. But I'm lucky enough to be in this position, so I have you guys to thank for that. I would love for you and Wave to watch Naruto together. Also, you got to get Wave to react to Melvin videos. You know about Melvin?
Not a lot.
Okay. So Melvin used to make videos where he would like rip on me. I think he made like 13 videos where he ripped on me.
Uh-huh.
And then over time, I started to find them like actually comical. And anyways, him and I talked, and for years we've become pals. And he's ripped on everyone in the Star Wars YouTube community, and I think his videos are very entertaining. I think that he would be a hilarious guy and an addition to bring on the podcast here and there. And he's actually backstage right now. So everyone, welcome Darth Melvin. I'm just kidding. It's not here. But that would be cool.
No, that would be cool for sure. If it ripping on everybody, the guy that rips on everybody, let's go.
He's good. He's good people.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you said it a few weeks ago. Like you'll talk to anybody, which a
Me?
lot of times,
Yeah.
It's if you have a disagreement with someone, a conversation fixes a lot.
Yeah. It's so like people get so bent out of shape. They're like, oh, I can't talk to them. It's like, all right.
Then don't. But I don't know.
The sickest
People,
beard in the
it's
game,
so
Germ
easy.
Graves. It is. It's very easy. Just talk to them. Please look into Warhammer 40k. Space Marine 2 is so really good. Lore 2. Bricky is really funny. Check out his Warhammer 40 factions. It's a sick beard, dude. I'll check them out. Yeah, you should watch the Star Wars Girls vid now. It's ironic because you used to have Sawyerism on your live shows. Yeah, I used to. Yeah, we used to be really good friends. We used to talk all the time. Yeah, she was a very nice friend to me at one point. I hope she's doing well. Would Mace Windu destroy Maul since he has Vapod?
I think Windu would beat Maul, but not because of a pad. I think actually, Maul can lose it. I just think Windu's more skilled than that.
Yeah, Windu would beat Maul.
I think people overestimate Maul. I think that most people don't understand. They underestimate him in terms of his potential, but I think they overestimate him in terms of what are given, especially Clone Wars Maul. Like when Obi-Wan is beating him and Savage, or Ahsoka. I know that Dave Filoni said that Maul was better than Ahsoka, but Ahsoka's keeping up with him, and she's still a Padawan.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
John Black says Luke did 9/11 radical Jedi terrorism. I don't understand that one.
The Death Star.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see. Do you think Star Wars is getting too complex to save itself? No.
No. The
They just need to
complexity
revert-
is the best part of Star Wars, not the worst part.
Need to revert to formula. That's all. Do you think? Yeah, right. I just read this one. Arthur with a big super chat to us says, "Did you look into supernatural encounters? I'd love to see you guys react to its original prophecy of the chosen one sometime." Channel Akbagel made it into a vid. Supernatural Encounters, chapter 21, jump to 19-minute mark. It's 4 minutes long. But we'll check that out sometime.
I think Arthur may have sent me an email this week. I am going to respond to that, Arthur.
That's
I'm
cool.
sorry. Yeah, he has He has access to the supernatural encounters. He was very thorough. I did see that email. I just had a hurricane.
We should. I was just almost being blown away.
Yeah,
we should react to that maybe next week.
We should.
So glad we're back with weekly streams. Will you be visiting Stupendous next week in Orlando for a WDW trip, maybe an Orlando meetup? Well, I'll be in Miami.
And I'm going to Boston.
Yeah, and he's going to Boston, so the timing doesn't match up. But there's gonna be lots of vlogs with me and him hanging out. Once he does his face reveal, it'll be much more much easier. So love my theory saber. I skipped the gym to beat up my punching bag with it. After seeing this, what do you call WTV? You call it a stormtrooper? I wonder truly, how does George feel about this monstrosity? Like, it's painful to watch Disney Star Wars. Well, I just think he stepped away. He doesn't have anything to do with it, and he's moved on. And thanks so much for grabbing one of the sabers, man. Appreciate it, Greg. What do you think?
I think that if I were George, it would be really painful to watch the way that things are going right now.
Yeah.
I think he sold it, and he's probably trying to make film. Like he said, he was going to make films that were for him and his family. All I'm saying is I hope that he's happy, because he certainly has made me happy in my life.
Yeah. And I wish George the best, and we all wish George the best. And he's where he wants to be right now. Dragon Ball Daima Theory, what do you think? Oh, I love it. I was playing last night for a couple hours, and it's great. Would you guys be opposed if I played Dragon Ball Daima, if I live streamed that here on the channel, like late at night sometimes? instead of the gaming
Over
channel.
Outlaws.
Yeah, I'm done with Outlaws.
Did you finish it or
no, no, I
no?
couldn't. It's
You
just shit.
couldn't?
It's no. Check it out. It's incredible, and you can build your favorite character. It's a trading card game, but super incredibly well made, and feels like old Star Wars universe deck building is the site you can play on. Okay, cool. We got to give that D&D a shot.
Yeah, I think you'd have fun. We just have to get a DM because I'm not the most experienced. But I know who to talk to.
Sidious versus Vitiate, who we did this last week.
I don't think
did
we talk about Sidious Vitiate?
Yeah, we did. I said Sidious Legends would beat him.
Did I give it? Do you remember what I said? Did I
you
have
went
an answer?
Yeah, you went Vitiate.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Star Wars UDB is the site handle. Well, that marks the end of it, man. Is there anything
Thank you guys for the
discuss?
super chats.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
I don't have a ton. Normally I would have prepared more, but again, the hurricane sort of just
that's
screwed
fine,
everything
man.
up.
Sometimes people love it when we just chill out and hang out with them and answer super chats and messages and
just hang out.
Yeah. So just
I like it.
Remember, Django had one unaltered clone, and we don't know exactly what was unaltered except for the age. Was it something?
That's the takeaway for the
between the legs.
Possibly.
You just have those ready? That's so cool.
I have those ready to go, man. If T Trooper exists, then we need a Chad Trooper that does the gym and votes for Trump. If a T Trooper exists, what's it? Oh, I see.
Trans Trooper? I don't know, man.
On this week's episode of Pimp My Starship, Palpatine, Vader, take the rims off that AT-AT. Give me something less basic, Vader. I got you. Well, we love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll be back next week, and stay tuned for all the new lore content coming to the channel. I hope you enjoy it. You guys have been asking for it for a long time, and you'll still get the regular commentary by me as well, so that won't change. Head over to theorysabers.com. We just cracked 50K yesterday on the Instagram, which is great. We finally got verified. Took us like 6 months, a while. But we're finally there, which is awesome because we got a lot of scammers, people to scam people, and they're like, "We're Theory Sabers. You want a free saber? Send us your bank info." Horrible. They do that with YouTube too. A lot of YouTubers.
Yeah. No, I've seen that all over my channel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they do it to you too, man. But yeah, Blake, I think that would have been interesting if the Vong were in the sequels. It'd be fun. But yeah, we love you guys. We hope you have a great rest of your evening, and we will see you all tomorrow in our respective videos. So
see you guys.
See you guys. Love you. Bye.
I'm not the Jedi I should be.
And you're sounding like a separatist.